Man, it has been so long since we've had a good map ugly. Why am I so pink? I hope the audio is working. I'm sure you guys all heard the weird hiccup there where the intro music didn't play until like 20 seconds into it. I don't know. Again, it's been 2, 3 weeks since we've all hung out and streamed together. So I'm getting back into the flow of being live. I'm getting back into the flow of using all of my setup and everything. So we're not quite in boomer zone, but there's going to be some, what do you call it? Like warm up pains, right? So aside from that, I hope I am coming through. I hope everything sounds good. I will probably try as we stream to see what I can do about like being such like a pinko over here. I don't know. Weird. That's gonna have to be something I fix with off stream. But until that happens, what's going on, guys? It is a new year. This is the first episode of Good Map Ugly in 2026, the first proper Saturday work week of 2026. Because wasn't that so? I don't know about you guys. I'm sure this is very universal, but like you have New Year's on a Wednesday. I don't, and you expect the rest of us to be productive at all until like the next Monday. It's very, very rough. But yeah, that's why obviously we didn't have a GMU last week, because it was kind of this weird like up in the air. I don't know what schedule things are. So I decided to focus on the website, but we're back now. I'm here to hang out with you. I'm stoked to be talking to you guys. We have, last year, for all of its crap, it was pretty cool as well. So hopefully 2026 brings better things, good games, good comic books. I really, really hope Supergirl is good. Like I'm holding out hope. The other day, I laughed so hard, guys. The other day, James Gunn came out and he was asked how strict are you following the Tom King Woman of Tomorrow for Supergirl? And he was like, well, it's based on it, but it's not like it follows it religiously. And that made me go like, oh, you don't really, Gunn knows better. Because guys, like, I'm sure if you've watched this show, if you've read Bounding, if you've watched Foil Variant with me and Andrew on Thursday nights, you'll know that like that book is garbage. Like it's exceptional garbage. That it's not only a bad story, but it's very like self-aggrandizing, very fart huffing, and completely misses the character of Kara. Like from the jump, right? And the way this book ends is, so the entire premise of this book, for those who have not checked out Woman of Tomorrow, which I would actually recommend you look through it, like flip through the art. Don't read the words. Because what's her name? Blycus. I always forget her name. I want to get her name right because she's actually really great of an artist. So let me get her name right. Fire Tom King yesterday. Bilquis. I'm not even trying to be like do a bit. Like I genuinely don't know how to pronounce her name. Here, this is her name, just so we all know. We'll go over here real quick. Whoop. Yeah, there. So like Bilquis Evely, Brazilian. So Timon, Zero, all my other Brazilians out there, let me know how to pronounce this in actuality. But so yeah, check out her art. It's all fantastic. But the book essentially centers around Supergirl meets this young woman who wants revenge against a like pirate plunderer guy because he killed her father. And it's this big long diatribe about like, we're going to go get revenge, but then, we don't get revenge. Like, obviously, revenge bad. You can do more constructive things with it. And like, okay, I can't argue with that message. But then at the very end of the book, like Supergirl becomes like a torturer. And then the girls, so they capture the guy. And then Supergirl just throws him into the Phantom Zone for 300 years. And then when he comes out of the Phantom Zone after 300 years, like, he's like, I'm a changed man. Like, I repent. I'm so sorry. Like, I realized the error of my ways now. And he's like, can you ever like am I free? Can I go? Do you forgive me? It's a very ambiguous shot, but the little, or like the young female companion who Supergirl met up with, she's now an old lady. She strikes him in the head. Like she either like hits him or kills him. It's left very open ended, right? But it's like Supergirl would not endorse like extrajudicial torture or like post sentence served like brutality, right? It's on the same level for me as Batman branding people in, what was it? Oh, where's my camera? Why isn't my camera working here? It was working a second ago. What is it? Batman in the Snyderverse, right? When he was like branding people there in jail after they're already arrested and stuff. So with all that, to hear Gunn go like, it's like inspired-ish, not like super hardcore though, it makes me laugh. And it makes me kind of wonder, like, where will he take it then? Because for all I love James Gunn, or like, you know, I really do like Superman. I thought that was an incredible movie. I liked The Suicide Squad. I love The Guardians. I liked Peacemaker season 1 a lot. Season 2 was fine. There were good moments, but overall, a lot of it kind of like it didn't fall flat per se. It was just sort of like meh. But given that the man like basically just knows how to make Guardians movies, that makes me curious to see like, okay, there's a no Guardians aspect to the comic, but if he's going to put that in there, might be cool. But anyway, that's what's coming in 2026. What else is coming in 2026 that we know of so far? Oh yeah, we've got the Marvel Magic set, which if it's anything like the Spider-Man one, it'll be bad, but you guys probably still won't hear me shut up about it for like 200 years. If they put a Peach Momoko chase card in that set, I might actually lose my mind and like rob a bank just to be able to afford it. Like, I am not even joking at this point. I don't think we've got like what are we thinking about in video games? What's coming in video games? The only thing I can like think of that I'm like anticipating is the third part of Final Fantasy VII. I don't think that's 26. I think it's just in the air right now, right? So it's probably not going to be this year. If it is, it's going to be hyper late. But yeah, I'm happy to be back, guys. I'm happy that we have a new year to look ahead. I'm happy to be hanging out with you. And speaking of you, let's get into it. Let's hang out. Obviously, we have topics we can talk about today. If you saw the thumbnail, we got a lot of like DC sort of it's going to be kind of a hand it to you situation over for DC today. Aside from that, we could also talk about the Cygames Uma Musume situation with the new AI studio. We could also talk about Marvel Comics dropping the ball with their Ultimate Endgame stuff. We could talk about the fact the Blade movie is apparently not happening. Maybe I should have led with that one. Either way, we'll get into all of that and whatever else is on your mind over the next 2.5 hours. And to kick it all off, let's just dive in and say hello to all of you. Starting with, we got Timon in the house. Yes, what's going on, Timon? Always happy to see you, brother. I'm pink to match my Barbie backpack. First of all, it's a Miku backpack. Thank you very much. And second, I mean, it's not even the same pink. Okay, it's kind of the same. I kind of like defeated my argument really hard right there immediately. Up. Hey, Andrew, it only takes 3 weeks for me and Mav to forget how all this crap works. Oh my. There are buttons I need to push. There are things to hit, like go live. There are changing inputs for microphones and stuff. Look, in a perfect world, I would live a caveman existence where people just handed me video games and technology, right? But it's not a perfect world. I have to suffer through doing my own labor. What's up, brother? I hope you're having a good Saturday. Whoa, I hope you get to dive into some video games today. Take some breathers. I know you've been really busy with all the Blue Shift stuff lately. Guys, if you haven't seen the video of Andrew like actively signing his Blue Shift copies, it's really cool. It's on the Rippa Twitter. It's on Andrew's Instagram. Very, very fucking cool. I don't know. I'm just fanboying over it. But either way, let's see. Hey, it's me in HD. Happy New Year, my friend. He says, anything actually good you can recommend from Tom King? I will be completely honest, right? Like intellectually honest. We all don't like him. I very much enjoyed his Vision series for Marvel, right? Which was one of his first, pardon me, his first like big series, right? And it's basically it's where Viv comes from, the Vision's daughter, right? And it's this cool kind of like existential thought exploration of, Vision's humanity and what it means to, like, okay, I am Vision, what does it mean for a synthezoid to advance, like have a family, have a career, all that sort of fun stuff. So I really liked that when it was running. Now I add a caveat here, which is Tom King. I feel like everybody will read one Tom King story, whatever the first Tom King story you read. You'll read it and you'll go, even if it's something bad, you'll go, hey, at least this guy's like elevated, he's trying, and you might get tricked into thinking like, oh, he's a really good writer. Except like every story after that, you'll notice like, oh, it's the same thing. He's just doing the same fart huffing. He's doing the same character assassination. He's using all of these characters to apologize for his Iraq war crimes. Like it's very, very banal, right? Like, and just like a boring. It, like, we get it, new material, move on, boo, right? So with Vision, I think he had more of a leash on him by Marvel, where they're like, okay, you can do some stuff, but you can't go crazy, right? Like, we're not letting you define the character. But then DC said, hey, come on over, you can define Batman, Wonder Woman, who else am I missing here? Kyle fucking Rayner, Wally West. Like, he get two. All right, this just reminds me. I'm going to take a quick detour. It's not even going to be like a quick detour. Or what do I say? It's a quick detour. It's not even a detour. I just want to bring this all up to you because it is actually insane. So I know none of us read this series, even my comic book guys out there, right? Even my Andrews, my Subhumans, like none of us touch this book because it's actual absolute garbage. Oh man, where the hell did I think, okay, because I showed this to Andrew and I think I deleted the digital copy we were looking at because I'm like, I don't even want this crap. My Pakistani friend can offer better stock than this. So here, let me grab it real quick. And while I go and grab this, can be very, very easy. Let's me go back to the chat and comments and all that sort of fun stuff like that. All right, I'll be right back to that. Hey, it's me in HD. We'll put a pin in that. Yeah. Look at that right off the bat. First kickbot. All right, make me popular. Nezna.com. Okay. Anybody out there who's read the World's Finest comic by Wade and Dan Mora or saw Black Adam, right? Like, this just reminds me of the demon Neza, the crown, the one that they like sit on. It's pretty. That's just me. It's not even pretty funny. It's just like make myself laugh. So HD says, unfortunately, whether Netflix or Paramount buys WB, Gunn is here to stay. I'm good with that. I actually really like what Gunn is doing so far with the DCU. I mean, Superman was incredible. The Peacemaker season 2, while a little, I really liked the idea of he went to another Earth, right? Like an actual multiverse established in the comics, like Earth X. Like, that was pretty cool. I thought it all kind of resolved a little abruptly because obviously he's transitioning that plot line into the greater DCU. But at the same time, like, Gunn knows ball because the man pulled out fucking Salvation Run and Sanctuary from Final Crisis 2008. And it's like the one part of Final Crisis nobody remembers because it was that was the entire thing with Salvation Run, was they sent every supervillain to Salvation and they did their planet government and they all came back. Like, nothing permanent happened, but for someone to like go that deep and be pulling it out and like actually using it and not just like throwing a name on it like the MCU tends to do. All right, man, you've got ball. You've got me for at least like you can. I'll give you one meh, right? And then like you can win me back, but Yeah, he's got some goodwill from me thus far. Okay, let's see. I think this is what I wanted to point out to you guys. Boo, 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 boo. Yep. Okay, I got it now. So I do boom, 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 boom. Go over here. Go over here. Wrong comic. I was showing a buddy Simbi because Simbi recently showed up in that Spider-Man and the Amazing Friends show, and he's like, "What's going on with this?" So I was like, let me show you how weird it is." But anyway, Tom King, as we all might know, is currently writing the ongoing Wonder Woman series. Full disclosure, I do not know the entire lead up. I don't know who these events are. Like I don't know who these villains are. I don't know what the events are that leads up to this because I do not read this book because it is a Tom King book. However, I was looking up things for an article for Bounding, and I came across issue 27, which was published, I believe, in November. So it's second to most recent issue of Wonder Woman out right now. There is some villain here named the Mouse Man. And I don't know who this pink-haired girl is. I don't know anything about what's going on. But I know there's Mouse Man, who's a villain. And so Wonder Woman comes to the rescue of this girl. She, we're not doing this, my Mouse Man. And so this isn't like Wonder Woman she rescues him and she throws him out of the wall. Cool, he's down, he's defeated. Wonder Woman takes her lasso, lassos the gun of one of his henchmen, pulls it over to her, and says, and you can see the scene here. She's like, "Get up, like you're on your knees now. Stand, or get on your knees, hold." And she gives him the gun, and she says, "The rest is up to you." And then when he he's going, "I'm gonna kill you," and he shoots at her, she just directly deflects it, and she doesn't ping it away. She doesn't move. She doesn't super speed over and crackle the barrel or whatever, right? She just you can see it on her bracers there, direct shot back into him. And then she walks over to him and she starts going, "You threatened the child, understood why this happened to you. This is not the wrath of the gods or the Amazons or your people. It's the wrath of Wonder Woman." And then there's this bit right here where she sees the girl and Wonder Woman goes "You've changed and so have I," right? And drops down Mouse Man. And it's like, if anybody here remembers the Infinite Crisis era, one of the biggest controversies we went through as comic book fans back then was Wonder Woman's decision to just snap Maxwell's Lord's neck, right? Because this is something that's been lost over the years in the sort of attempted edification of Diana, which is that, yes, she is a warrior and she is she's trained by the Greek Amazons. We know this. She understands war and combat. That doesn't make her like a US soldier or a US police officer, right? She should be she wants to be of a better standard. She never wants to kill anybody if she absolutely does not have to. And with Maxwell Lord, they've dealt with mind control people before. It's not that hard. She's never had to snap their necks. Right here, this guy is, for all intents and purposes, just a dude, right? And so she didn't need to bare blood murder him. But that's what Tom King does, right? Again, the big context to remember with Tom King is that he is a CIA agent. I know he doesn't work for them anymore, and people like to say former, but that's the thing with the CIA. You don't get out. You're never out of the CIA, right? So he was a CIA agent who helped plan and lead the initial parts of the invasion of Iraq and all the war crimes and everything we did over there. Once you understand that context and you start reading all those comics, I made a note of it before, that's when you start seeing all of the apologia, all of the revenge fantasies, all of the, I committed war crimes, but I'm the sad one, come out, right? Take, for example, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Yeah, okay. Were we really supposed to side with the young, the lady who, after a guy has been forcibly imprisoned for 300 years, you smack him and possibly kill him? No, but you know who that sounds really good to? The fucking CIA. So it all of his books outside of Vision, because Vision, he doesn't get that hoity-toity, right? There's no killing enemies in Vision. It's a very, very self-contained story. But that's what Tom King is. He really, really thinks he wants to be the next Alan Moore, except he's like pro CIA Alan Moore, which is completely the opposite of what anything Alan Moore is, was, were, or ever would be. You know what I mean? So I just needed to bring that up because my God, Tom King, go away. Let's see. Punk is here. Hey, Spencer in chat. Fuck ICE. Amen to that. Fuck ICE indeed. Current domestic terrorists on our streets. But we are not here to talk about how awful things are getting in America. Be safe. Take care of your loved ones. You know what's right and wrong. Believe and support what's right. Either way, this Saturday, as with all GMUs, it's here to give you an out from all of the terrible stuff, right? Like, we're going to have fun here. We're going to laugh. Don't worry. Looking at how bad Wonder Woman has been assassinated is not the focus of our stream. I'm sorry, but Millie Alcock, who I hated, or who I hated the most on House of the Dragon. All right. I mean, I'm not here to convince you who hates me, HD. If you don't like Millie, if you don't like Gunn, that's on you. I'm just saying I like what he's done so far, and I'm optimistic, and I'm ready and willing to see what he can do. I'm not going to go into this with I don't like any of these people type of mentality, right? Like it's too intellectually dishonest. Wolf says, I'm looking forward to FF7 Remake Part 3, but I think that'll be next year. Pragmata looks really cool. Is Pragmata for 2026? That does look cool, but I really need some gameplay from that, right? Like, I just like hear me out here. I think a lot of you will understand this struggle, right? Which is, oh my God, I don't even have my camera up. What is going on today with this setup, dude? Like, it keeps taking me off. Watch. And yeah, see, now I'm off of this one. All right, now all the cameras are working. That's fucking bullshit. But what was I even saying off of that? Okay, yeah. A lot of you out there might feel this, right? Which is, right now I'm playing FF7 Rebirth. And it is a giant, expansive game with lots to do. And I'm not complaining here in this instance. I love FF7. I want to be in this world. I would gladly, do every single mini game in Rebirth just like I did in the original. But as an adult with other hobbies, with work, with creative projects, with, family things to do, mechanical things to just other shit, it's daunting to think of like, okay, am I going to play another game that is just like a slow cutscene, like an interactive cutscene eventually, or interactive movie essentially, right? And so like, I want Pragmata to be good because it does interest me visually, conceptually, and everything. But if it's another type of like Death Stranding type of game, and I love Death Stranding, don't get me wrong, but if it's another one of those slow type of games, I think I'm just gonna like snooze out. You know what I mean? So I really, really hope that's good. I really, really hope that's good. Oh yeah, the whatchamacallit, the Insomniac Wolverine game is out. I don't give a shit about that. That's going to be another one of those things I was just talking about. That's going to be an interactive cutscene where you go through scripted moments and you do scripted attacks, and scripted animations will always play. And congratulations, right? If you want a good Wolverine game, I feel like I've been talking about this one a lot, but go play what was it? X-Men Origins Wolverine tie-in game. And I'm not kidding here, guys. Like, it is an actual good game because it started out as an independent Wolverine game. And then they went, oh, hey, movie's coming out. I think we could do some. You want to throw it on there? And they went, I guess we can make that work. So they like rush in a couple assets at some point. There are other characters that have nothing to do with the X-Men movies or anything like going off. But 1 second, guys. I need to adjust my temperature inside. Okay. Yeah, but that Wolverine game is actually like genuinely good. Oh yeah, Timon says also GTA may be delayed again. At this point, it's vaporware, man. Like they they're at a weird intersection, right? Because obviously the world wants GTA 6. But at the same time, I don't know if the same fire is there under Rockstar to get it out because they're making $1,004 every single minute on GTA Online. And as long as that thing is being profitable, okay, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. And I'm also really afraid of pardon me, expansion creep or like scope creep, right? I'm sure a lot of us out there played Red Dead Redemption 2, which was mechanically, graphically, like everything. It is a marvel. It is a fun game to play. Now, the problem with that game, though, let me rephrase that. Now, even though Red Dead 2 is great, and shout out to Roger Clark, who I've met, Facebook friend, I don't know if you guys remember, but about 2 years ago, I hosted a panel at San Diego Comic-Con with Roger Clark and a historian who wrote about like the real history surrounding Red Dead. And Roger Clark narrated the audiobook, and it was this whole partnership. And yeah, I hosted a panel, Q&A panel. It was really cool. But while that game is like good and everybody did great, fantastic work, it's not a good video game. And I like the first one better. And the reason I don't like 2 that much is because you thought about whether you could and not whether you should. I remember there was a very early on section of the game where you have to do you have to move bales of hay in your camp to like another area of the camp, and you have to do like 5 bushels. And that was the thing where I went, this isn't fun. This isn't a game. This is a chore simulator, right? And what happened there, I completely, to guess what, even though I'm pretty sure this is what happened, they went, we could do it. We can get super realistic. Isn't this immersive? And it's not. It just makes me go, I sat down to play a video game. I'm an adult. I don't have an hour to spend moving bushels around. So yeah, like the more they keep GTA 6 in the cooker, the more I'm afraid they're going to go, oh, well, we've got time now. We can add this and now we can do that and we can do that. And so then you end up getting a big world with a bunch of shit to do in it, but there's none of it's fun, right? Like I don't want to go to the gym in a video game. I don't want to that just doesn't sound fun to me. In GTA San Andreas, if you went to the gym, you just like walked in, there was a little animation, and then it was like, you did a gym visit, congrats. That's what, I don't want to see bushels of hay moving around. And you don't need to dedicate so much CPU to horse testicles expanding and growing. Again, you focused too much on whether you could and didn't think about whether you should. So let's see what GTA 6 ends up like. I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting I'm pretty into what's her name, Lucia, the main character. You guys got me. What can I say? I'm a red-blooded American man, and I love my thick ladies. It is what we do here. Yeah, Punk says new Wonder Woman has a new writer that I never heard of. She is getting a new writer. I forget who it is. And I think there was something about they're not permanent. I think they're only coming in for a couple issues, which is maybe those will be the best 4 issues of Wonder Woman we've had in 3 years. No idea. But at this point, anything is going to be, better than cold-blooded wonder murder. I'm like, uh-oh, these cans might be on the way out. I'm getting a weird click in them. Oh well, that's something to figure out later. From Tom King, an autographed pink slip. I would take that. I would buy that at auction, right? And I would hang it in my home as the most pristine thing. This is the day. This is the document that got Tom King off of DC forever. Oh yeah, now we're catching up a little bit. Yeah. Tom King did the Mr. Miracle run. Let's see. Hey, RJ McReady. Gun and Marvel shit shows. GTA may get yet another delay. 2026 is looking rough already. And that's the thing. I mean, I'm sure you guys saw when I tried to say, like, what's coming out. I can't think of anything. I guess we've got, okay, Supergirl, and then like I think Spider-Man is this year, or is it next year? I forget. I think it's this year. Let's see. Spider-Man brand new date. Yeah, that's in July of this year. So then I think we get Doomsday, which is like, I don't think any of us are necessarily excited for any of that here. And then in terms of video games, I genuinely just like, yeah, I think everybody here hit it. We've got GTA, we've got Final Fantasies, we've got Pragmata. I genuinely don't know what's like coming down the pipe. It's really weird. Like, there's nothing where I'm like, oh, I can't wait to play that. Are you talking about Wonder Woman's drawn Latina? I think you might need to take a bit like a step back and like this. Not everything is a culture war thing. She is not being drawn Latina. She is definitely being drawn as Diana. The artist is Daniel Sampier. He knows what he's doing. Like, again, guys, if you go out looking for culture war issues, you're gonna find culture war issues, but not everything is. So while this run is bad, none of that is going on here. Yeah, exactly, RJ McReady. Like, thank you. I see so many people going like, ex-CIA. Oh, no, he's former CIA. He's not. And I'm like, have you guys ever, like, everybody knows that you don't get out. Like, unless you are, like, found dead in a chair with, like, 3 bullets in the back of your head and they say it's a suicide, right? Like, that's exactly how it goes. Let's see. There's a playable demo out for Pragmata right now, and the gameplay looks cool. I guess I'll check it out. Where is it on? I guess it's probably through like Steam or Epic Games. That's probably where I'll have to get it since I play on PC. Requiem might be cool. I like the Resident Evils, but I also feel at this point like I don't know, do something new. Like 7 was cool. Wasn't where I would want you to take it permanently, but like I feel and Requiem could prove me different here, but like I feel like everything since 4 has been trying to ape 4, even with like the remakes, right? Like I love RE2 remake and I love RE3 remake, but they're good games. They're not necessarily good remakes of those original games because they try to go to RE4 style. And I think a lot of them, you know, I think whoever's over there at Capcom is just kind of scared. They go, I know people like this, so this will work. So I don't know. I'm very interested to see what's her name, the woman, because that was like, wow, you guys remember Outbreak? That's crazy. I thought I was the only person who remembered Outbreak. And that's because I was a poor kid, and that was one of the only like 3 games you could afford at like a GameStop, right? So that'll be cool. But we're at like what? This will be 9, and we're still doing like, oh, it's the G virus, it's Umbrella. It's like, come on, guys. Like, even like you know, Kamen Rider eventually moved on from Shocker. Spider-Man moved on from the Green Goblin for a little bit. Things like that, right? So I hope it's good. I love Resident Evil. I'm just like, give me a reason to show up. Yeah, I have no idea who Stephanie Williams is, Punk, so I could not tell you the quality of her work there. Is it like okay, so Hey HD says the Wolverine game is a near masterpiece, but the secondhand price is a bit high. Is it? I mean, given that it's old and probably out of print, I get it. I just didn't think, like, that's weird. I didn't think it would be fetching a significant price. That's unfortunate because I do think everybody should play it, and I don't think they've ever like re-released it anywhere. Like, it's not ported. I don't think it's on any of the digital storefronts or any of that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, we should, hopefully something happens there. Hey, Hibiki, what's going on? Let's see. You should play Marvel Rivals, Splitgate, Rogue Company. We might play some of those over on map streams during the week. Unfortunately, this is not a gaming stream. This is just a stream where I hang out with you guys. We talk, we chat, We laugh, we be merry, we drink, we go to the bathroom. I have no idea. Let's see. GTA maybe turning into Duke Nukem, too much hype. I think it was always going to be that way, right? I don't think there was ever going to be a situation where we got a GTA without too much hype, because it's just, how do I put this? With the, like, knowing that you would need at least 4 years, again, and this is back in GTA 5 times, at least 4 years of development for a new GTA. I think even if you got it out in 4 years, those 4 years would see everybody crapping their pants about, like, what can we do? Like, oh my God, it's going to be the best thing ever. Think of it. Like, a lot of these things always get hyped up to farts and back. How many times in recent years, guys, have you seen headlines? Because I've seen a lot of them where it's like, man takes a week off to play. 1 second. Gotta grab something. Where it's like, man, I planned my entire vacation around Cyberpunk coming out, and now it's not here. What the hell? Like, why? Like, it always happens. People are always going to get way too hyped. They're going to want to believe, right? Like, deep down, I think a lot, like, most people are hopeful and optimistic, even to a self-inflicted, like, disappointment level. But I think GTA 6 was always going to be this stupid of a hype level, right? RD2, yeah, exactly, Timon. Like, I do not like RD2 as much as 1. And I like Marston as a protagonist a lot more. Like, he's just way cool. He's got way more grit. The slander, hey, there's no slander. There ain't no slander. I'm just saying, you can make things more pointed. You can make it all so more direct, right? I don't need to do chores within my chores. This is not Exhibit. We're not pimping my horse. I don't need to do my chores while I'm doing my chores while I'm ignoring my real life chores. I don't want to play The Sims Wild West. I don't want that out of Red Dead, but as soon as you said that, I got this kind of, like, fun idea in my head of, like, a 4X game where you only follow, like, a small colony, or not a colony, like a caravan, right? Like, that could be cool. I'm sure a game like that has to exist out there, like a higher level Oregon Trail or something. But, and yeah, I think there could be something there, like reverse Oregon Trail, copyrighted, ROT, rot. Do you think GTA Online will evolve into its own beast like Warzone? Oh, I already think it is. Are you kidding me? Like, all they do nowadays is focus on GTA. Here's a GTA update or a GTA Online update. Oh, we've got a new heist. We've got a new skin. We got yada, 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 yada. If they really, really fucking wanted to, they could, like, not release GTA 6 probably for, like, another decade before they start seeing significant, like, operating cost income from online numbers starting to, like, futz up, right? Like, online is stupid massive. Here, I'm going to look it up real quick. We'll do a cursory one. GTA Online profits 2025. Well, okay, this is the closest we have, but in 2025, in Take-Two, the publisher of GTA, in their 2025 financial, like, earnings statement, like their complete end year wrap up, they said that this is how finances work, right? The data I'm going to tell you is from 2024. They posted it as the end of their fiscal year 2025. It's all accounting things. My bad, guys. I forget that sometimes not all of us took like 2 years, 3 years of useless business school, right? So in 2024, the GTA series generated $710 million for Take-Two. Now, in 2024, GTA did not have a significant release. I don't even think, were any of those remasters, did they come out? Let's see. Theft Auto 2024. Nope, 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 nope. I didn't think so. I thought that was all like 2022, 2023. So 710 million from the GTA series, which again, let's be nice, let's be generous. Let's say 10 million of that is generated from new game sales. Like people going, "Oh, I want a new copy of GTA 5. Oh, I want a new copy of the, whatever the collection happens to be these days." It's a lot. I'm giving a huge leeway here, but let's say 10 million came from that. That's still 700 million that was just generated from that online economy where you have to do maintenance and stuff, but you're not actively like developing a new game all the time. So it's probably got to have gone way past that in the last year. We'll see. Probably, let's see, they report in May. So in May, we'll see how much GTA Online did for Rockstar in 2025. But yeah, this thing it's a weird beast, man. Like that game is mad popular. When, let's say, like 4 years ago, right? My little cousin, he wanted to build a PC, and so he got all the parts. He asked me to come over. I helped him put it up. As soon as we got it all set up, right? The main thing that kid wanted to play was GTA 6 or GTA 5 online. And like that was all he wanted. That was all he cared about. He didn't care about playing like the new COD. He didn't care about playing like an Assassin's Creed or anything else. What other AAA games are out there nowadays that people play? Like, I don't know, because I don't do AAA anymore. So I'm like, GTA, sports games, and Assassin's Creed. Like, that's all that comes to mind right now. But yeah, right now, it is an insane ecosystem all its own. I say that statement a lot, right? Where it's like there are worlds out there that we do not know of in terms of like people like this fandom or this has a big fan base. Like GTA has such a strong base or online has such a strong base that some people went and they filmed like they did Hamlet in GTA Online and filmed it and like released it as like an actual movie. And like it was worth it, right? Like worthwhile enough for them to do that. So I don't know, man. It's to me, it's that same type of zone as like, did you know 911 on Fox has been going for like 14 seasons? Do you know do you know anyone who watches 911? Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's right. Hayden Meets HD, Crimson Desert and Blood of the Dawnwalker. Is Blood of the Dawnwalker, is that the new one from the Witcher, the ex-Witcher devs? Is that their game where you get to play as like the vampire-ish monster, like in a free open world type thing? That looked really cool. I don't know if that's this year. I haven't heard anything on it. And then Crimson Desert, yes, that one looks really cool. I also really want Showa, like a Japanese story, but I think that's been pushed back another year to 2027, and that's a bit unfortunate. New Legend of Heroes is coming to the West. Oh, really? When did they announce that? Legend of Heroes. Either way, like, yeah, I gotta catch up on all like the trails, the Tales, like all of those games. I know they're two different franchises, but they ran together in my head right there for a second. Yo, Susanu, how's it going? Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, a tip-top tet, a solemn and respectful Ramadan. I hope all of you had that over the last 3 weeks, and I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to see all you guys. Hey, it's me in HD says, what I'm looking forward to most this year is finding out what happens to the WB Games division once the sales go through. Honestly, man, honestly, I am like a little like excited schoolgirl to see how that plays out, because for all intents and purposes, guys, it does not look good. Like nobody in their right mind would look at everything on paper and go, Netflix is going to back them up. We're going to get back to a golden age of WB games. Like, It's so for those who don't know, with the Netflix purchase of, or when Netflix made their offer to WB to buy WB and all of its assets, WB has accepted it. It's about what, like seven, I forget the number now. Let me do that real quick. Netflix WB sale. We went over it a little while ago. Yeah, 82 billion, right? Roughly 82 billion is what the sale went through for. Now, the day that they came out and they announced, like, oh yeah, we're doing this, we're in a partnership, let's go. Netflix held a sort of like a presser investor media call, right? Where like all their shareholders could come in, the media could come in, and they were answering questions. One of their shareholders, one of their significant shareholders, asked them, what did you think about the games division? What are you going to do there? Do you see them bolstering Netflix's video game offerings? Because if you guys remember, Netflix does have some video games. They do have like a Netflix game portal that you can play within the app itself, whether on a TV or on your phone or whatever. It's very limited to mainly like quick open, I got 3 minutes to blow type of Fruit Ninja games. But they've also got some significant offerings you can play on there. You can play Red Dead 1. You can play Shredder's Revenge. So they have like a small fledgling thing, but it's very much more of like a hobby novelty to Netflix than like a serious lane of their business pursuit. So when they were asked, what are your plans for this? Like, do you think it's going to help you? Netflix CEO Ted Saranson said, to be honest, we did not factor in anything WB Games related in our offer. So that 82 billion that they gave them, they said, we're going to offer you that, and we don't give a shit. Like, we're not giving any value to WB Games. If you want, like, will you accept it? And they did. So with that being the new ownership and seeing where they are now after the absolute disaster that was David Zaslav, so you have those two factors with the principal players. But then we see, if we step out a little bit, we see that in the overall industry, right? Like, there is no security or safety for even the most storied of game studios and developers, from like big storied development houses. Like, it's getting rough all around. So if you take just, if I'm following logic, if you have a video game company, like let's just call the division a company just for the sake of simplicity. If you've got the video game company going and it is currently dying, it's on life support, nobody likes it. Again, like, the Hogwarts Legacy is the biggest, like, a genuine smash hit, but the only hit at all that WB has had in almost a decade. Let's look this up real quick, right? Let's see. We'll all go to our friendly shared window. Where are you? Over here. You're over here somewhere. At some point I had you. Oh, it's probably this window. Okay. List of WB Games releases. All right, let's see. Jump over the Firefox. All right. Wow, we're going all the way back. The Matrix Online was the first one. My God, who remembers that? Also, this game, if you guys have not played Justice League Heroes and Justice League Heroes The Flash, you're missing out. They are kind of sleeper hits. Justice League Heroes is like a X-Men Age of Apocalypse, right? Like, they kind of like copied that formula. And then Justice League Heroes The Flash is just like a really solid side-scrolling beat 'em up with The Flash. It's really, really fun. But now I'm getting off topic here. Let's see. In recent years, let's go. All right. So yeah, Hogwarts Legacy. Oh, that's the port even. So like Multiverses, Quidditch Champions, Kill the Justice League, Mortal Kombat 1, Gotham Knights, Back 4 Blood, Mortal Kombat 11. Hitman Blood Money. Is that the new one, or is that the? Yeah, wait, that's the remake, right? Like, that's just a re-release. That doesn't count. That's what I thought. Like the Lego games, I'm not really mentioning because they are pretty much solid in and of themselves. And that, TT games, Traveler's Tale, they're going to be fine, right? Like they could probably exist on their own outside of Warner Brothers, because then you could have every other studio going, hey, do me another Marvel superhero Lego, do me another Lego, Lego NFL. I don't fucking know at this point. But so where do we go? We got Injustice 2 and then Middle Earth Shadow of War, which was 2017. And so I like both of those games, but those games were also both like, they're good, but they're not like like they're good. They're solid 8s, right? Let's see. Let's keep going back. Injustice, Lego, Batman, more Arkham re-releases, Legos, Shadow of Mordor in 2015, Arkham Knight in 2015. So we are officially at like 11 years since they've been able to produce a big, solid, everybody kind of loves this hit. You take that, a company in that state, and then you give them to an ownership company that did not care about them, like A, did not care about them in their purchase evaluation, and B, does not foster video games pretty much at all. I don't see how this ends up well for anybody, unless they go specifically like, okay, again, this is completely like, I'm just saying things, but if Netflix does this and then they went and they got like an executive who knows what he's doing when it comes to video games, maybe you'd have a shot. Doug Bowser, for example, who just left Nintendo of America as their CEO. If you hired him and said, all right, we're Netflix, he's going to be in charge of WB Games, I might go, all right. This is a case of you don't know how to best utilize what you have now, so you're giving it over to an expert. And I support that. I can get behind that. Like that could work. It's not going to work though if they bring it in and they go, oh shit, we have this. Hey Johnny, Teddy, like you guys need something to do, right? Like there you go, take care of that division, because I don't know how many of you guys saw this recently, but it's over on Bounding here. I'm going to bring it up real quick. But hey, go to the homepage, please. So the Blue Archive director, Young-Ho Kim, he came out a couple days ago. He gave an interview about AI and everything. And as you can see from the headline, one of the things he said is the reason why players are so vehemently opposed to AI being like really forced and really adopted into our video games, especially when it comes to like generative AI art assets and stuff and writing, is because humans want creative authenticity, right? From video games, from their writing, from their art. There's, shout out to Cider, who talks about it all the time in his videos and over on Weekly Weeb News. But AI, there is a very noticeable lack of soul in an AI generated image that most all of us can pick up on and go that's AI. And you might laugh at a meme, but imagine if somebody tried to sit down and go, give me, $10 for a movie ticket to sit here for 3 hours and listen to a bunch of weird copy regurgitated mumbo jumbo. Everybody would go, no, go get the fuck out, except for weird crypto bros. So in terms of what we were talking about with the video games here, we saw it with David Zaslav and WB Games as it is, right? If you bring somebody in who doesn't understand that creative authenticity and just goes, oh, make a Suicide Squad game because it's a popular movie and people buy merch. That's not creatively authentic. And so players are going to go, no, I'd rather go play, that's great. That looks really good. Good graphics. I'd rather go play the, indie game on Steam by the guy who really fucking loves video games and won't shut up talking about it on Twitter. And that's kind of the precipice that WB Games finds themselves on. And I don't know, man. It is question marks all the way up here. But I'm with you. I really, really cannot wait to see how that plays out. I don't want to look at. I hate when it tracks my cursor like that. Screw with you. All right, let's see. I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit because there is a lot to say. Let's see. Hibiki says, "Hey, did you have a good holiday vacation with your family?" You know what? I wouldn't even say it was really a vacation. I was still working the entire time, getting a lot of articles out, prep work for the new year, taking care of admin, finance stuff. So not a lot of a vacation, but it was nice to be able to sort of take a breather, hang out with my family, see my little niece, see my cousins. So I love Christmas. Like my favorite holiday is Halloween because you get to get drunk, dress up, have fun. Like I don't know. It's very juvenile, and that's kind of the point of it, right? It's just very jovial, juvenile. But then with the Christmas season, I love just like everything does feel a little better, right? Like I think as the year ends, everybody does get a little more generous, a little more caring. I wish it was, year round, but what are you gonna do? So I love that environment. I love that season. I love any excuse for the weather to get bad and me to go, oops, I guess I can't go out and play and enjoy this sunny day. I guess I have to sit inside and play video games all day. But yeah, thanks, Hibiki. Yeah, no, I had a great time. How about all you guys? I know I've talked to some of you since on various streams and various discords and stuff, but I genuinely hope you guys all had a good holiday break. I missed you guys. I wanted to be here on thanks Christmas and New Year's and be like, what'd you guys get? What are you guys doing? Let's go. But like Hibiki says, I had family. But I did want to hit this really quick. Hey, me, it's HD says this week WB rejected Paramount's bid for the 8th time. Dude, I just need to point this out. It's really pathetic at this point. It is highly pathetic. Let me find just something to pull up for this. Where is it? Oh, I just talked about it. I guess I'll have to go to my Twitter. I know I tweeted about it. Inspector Gadget. Where was it? Because this is just sad at this point. Okay, there it is. List of Warner Brothers games. Go there so we can go web. And then, yeah, Paramount warns Netflix deal may be worthless. Paramount says the merger with Netflix could deliver less value than reported. Changes in Netflix's stock and potential adjustments to Global's debt may reduce the cash component. Paramount contrasts this with its own offer, which is 100% cash and fully certain. As Hates Me in HD pointed out, it has been they just rejected the 8th bid. Then, Paramount comes out with this. It's just dude, she's just not that into you. Holy shit, get over yourself, David Ellison. No, nobody. All right, this is a slight political curve, but this is very much the MAGA ethos right now, right? And David Ellison and his father Larry Ellison are very big MAGA acolytes. They are actual friends with Trump. They hang out with him all the time, which is a lot of them cannot grip that. Okay, you can believe what you want, you can think this, you can do that. None of us are obligated to be your friend or to think it's cool or to like it. And that's what you see here with David Ellison, where he's going, but I'm giving better value. I'm doing I give you more money. Shareholders. And they're going, that's fucking great. We don't like you. We don't want your deal. We don't want involvement with the Saudis. Go away. We don't want you. And yet all he keeps doing is rebidding with more and more money because he thinks that if I just give them enough money, they'll like me. They'll go, okay, now you're cool and we'll let you in. When it's dude, you just fucking suck. Go away. It's so pathetic at this point. And again, as we've talked about, I'm not stoked about this merger. This merger sucks, right? The complete centralization of all media and entertainment and all of this is detrimental to the American country and just human soul society. So I don't like that either, but I'd much rather them go to Netflix, who isn't being a pissy little bitch out here, than go over to David Ellison, who is just the saddest loser of all time. If he didn't already own Paramount, I can see David Ellison going like, fine, I'm going to go make my own studio like the Daily Wire. Blah, 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 blah. Like, what a bitch. These are your like leaders. These are your idols. Fuck out of here. God. So it's so pathetic. Like, just let it go, dude. Oh, I've lost all of my windows. Where is everything? I need to get over here. There we go. Let's see. Let's jump a little bit. A Lego plus Dragon Quest builders would be a hit. I was actually surprised they did not do that. I thought that was going to be like a shoe-in collaboration when that game came out. Yep, MK1 and Suicide Squad really did them in, and that, dude, yes, HD. Like I think a lot of people forget Gotham Knights because I forget Gotham Knights, but that game was an absolute like, not just like a canary in the coal mine. That was like a phoenix sticking its head inside of the like, what's that setting you put your oven on when you like want to turn it up really high and clean everything, right? Like that's how bad it was. Like we all should have seen how bad Suicide Squad and everything else was going to be off of Gotham Knights. That was a really bad game. Oh, really? So Susanoo, I did see like they do have Mad Max on that list. It was not bad. It could have had more. Like to me, it's a solid 7. I'm actually really excited right now that there's another person out there who not only likes it, but could say like, that's my favorite game from them. That's fucking cool, right? Like I like that. I love it because it's that philosophy of like, if you make something, no matter what, one person will think it's the best thing in the world. And like, that's not to say like it's bad or you're bad or you're like, it's just one of those cool facts of life, right? Like things hit for us in different ways. And that's really cool. But yeah, solid Max game. I just felt like they needed maybe like 4 more months just to be able to add more things to do in it, because like the gameplay in that was solid. I just felt a little empty. Oh, dude, hell yeah, Hibiki did play Justice League Heroes, dude. My man, get this man a medal. Is it Matt yet? Nope, it's Spencer. But no, it's not May either. Let those Servy. Who's Servy? You mean Scurvy? I don't know what's happening anymore. But he's the right Stephen King. Who were we even talking about? Were we talking about? Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, I thought you meant Harlan Ellison puts down. Yeah, no, David Ellison and what's his name? Larry Ellison. Harlan Ellison. I do agree with you on that though, Dante. But we could have a book club because I think you and I could really get into that. But I do agree with you right there. Nobody is saying that WB was profitable. Like I completely understand where they're going. That doesn't mean I have to like it. That doesn't mean I have to go, okay, you guys fucked yourselves and this is the only way to survive. I'm mad that you fucked it up. I'm mad that you guys did this because now everything is going to get significantly worse. I mean, 17-day windows, guys. That's what Netflix wants for theatrical movies. They want movies to only have 17 days in theaters. Where is the profitability? I for the longest time, I still do not understand how Netflix makes money. Because, okay, you're charging subscription fees, but like Red One costs like $20 billion. What is the, I don't know, man. It's stupid. It's complicated. It's all a house of cards. I think we know that. It's just, it just sucks. It just sucks. Oh yeah. That's a really good thing to keep in mind, right, Susanoo, is that we can talk all day about like, oh, I'd rather this company do it, or I'd rather them do this, or I wish they did that. At the end of the day, it is important to remember that these corporations, these companies, they're not our friends. They do not care about art or making things better or any of that shit. Like, have you guys all seen this today rolling out over YouTube where you can't organize your search results by like most recent anymore? You can only do it by like, what's the upload date? Like a week ago, this week, year. And it's like, why would you do that? Oh, it's so that if people are looking for news or information on anything, they only are going to get your fucking corporate stooges, right? So, like, for example, if we're here talking about Absolute Batman, if somebody goes, I want to hear news about Absolute Batman, and they go, newest uploaded first, they might see me, they might see, Tehillim, they might see Foil Variant, they might see Jeff, they might see Comics Explained, like they might see all of these people who we don't have the biggest reaches, but we are people who know what we're talking about. On a whole, Comics Explained can kind of get on his own butt. But now we won't exist. They'll go, oh, here is the newest one from the big IGN. Here's the new one from CBR. And it's all for money. Remember, at the end of the day, you, me, your mother, their mothers, it's nothing. We are nothing but money signs to them. No, see, like that's the problem, Susan. That's not what they're doing. It's not. They're not saying like, oh, this only affects this and that. Like, it's a wide change. It's obviously not for everybody yet, but that's what's happening. There is no good guy in this. So, like, enjoy it while you can. It's going to get removed. Kind of like every time they do like a YouTube layout update and everybody goes, I don't have it yet. I don't have it. And then give it a month and there it is. But like, exactly, like you'll stop and I'll stop, but then what does that do for like channels like ours or anybody who wants to start a channel or anything like that, right? Like, it's very, very anti-individual, competition or whatever, and it's not good. It's not great, and I hate them for it. So let's see. Did I miss anything big? Let me go look. Man, don't ever apologize about bad grammar or spelling on here. We're on the internet. We're on the internet. All right. We're all good. As long as I can like parse what you're saying, we're a-okay. And even then, you guys have seen it. I'll just go like, what do you mean? Like that's all. Remember, in good Mab Ugly land, in Mab Zone, we're all about, trying to, be better, give people understanding, not jump, try to foster a sense of community. So you're all good here. Don't even trip. Dang, the game Wolverine got delisted a long time ago. That is so unfortunate. Boom, 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 boom. All right, let's see. Hibiki, I know. Here's the thing, Hibiki. I know you it is a very serious thing, all the censorship that's happening, but every day, every week, there's not much more to add other than the censorship is bad, fight back against it, right? So like, things are bad and absolutely fight against it, but also the UK might want to ban X because right now X is a on-demand child abuse material generator. So deal with that, Elon, before we even try to talk about social media. But you've never used a YouTube search. You've never gone onto YouTube and said bounding into comics or, Star Wars trailer. You've never done that. Like, I kind of find it hard to believe that in the last, what'd you say, like 2 years, you haven't had to search for anything. You've only found everything via a perfect direct link. I mean, I can't buy this right here, Susanu. I get what you're saying, but I can't buy it. But even then, like even actual search engines, I don't believe that. I don't believe over 2 years you've never had a moment where you went, let me look up something that I don't know. Do you have every topic you like come across, you have an exact source to go to where you're like, I can get the right info here? No. And like that's why like we can say all we want, like, oh, don't use search engines, but they're very, very like mixed into our lives. It's not that simple of a Copilot, dude. Okay, first of all, it's even worse. You are using AI, but exactly, you are sourcing the search engine. You are doing the exact. You are not using a search engine. You're just not typing in the words yourself. So you're not making an argument here. You are using search engines. I don't know. I don't know what you want me to tell you. You use a search engine. I would fucking love if all social media shut down. Are you kidding? Social media is a cancer. Shut down Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I don't give a shit. I'm all for information being on the internet. I lived in the era where we had forums and there were millions of websites where you could go to every day and learn something new and interesting and fun. And now it's all fucking, oh, you're woke, you're woke, you're woke. Blah, 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 blah. Like, man, fuck out of here. You're all annoying. Again, I said it before. We as humans were not meant to know what everybody is thinking all the time, 24/7. But yeah, so yeah, I hate social media. But okay, Susanu, your initial argument here, man, was it's been 2 years now since I used a search engine. Not since I used Google, not since I only used one. You said I didn't use a search engine. I don't care how you use a search engine. I don't care if you use multiple or one. I'm just saying, yeah, you can't say you don't use a search engine. That's all I'm saying. Hibiki, I'm going to be honest here. Be quiet. It's not about woke people. There's enough woke people on Twitter. There's enough woke people on Facebook. The anti-woke people are equally as fucking annoying and stupid, right? And they're all over Twitter. So you guys, like, in case we've forgotten this over the years, like, I completely reject woke framing, right? Like, the word doesn't mean anything. If you come to me and you go, oh, I hate that because it's woke, you do not have an argument. You don't know what you hate. Woke has become shorthand for I don't like it, right? Miss Rachel is woke. Video games are woke. Superman is woke. The Pope is woke. What the fuck are we doing here? It doesn't mean anything. So if you just say, oh, TikTok's full of woke people, what do you mean? What do you mean, Hibiki? Like, what do you mean about woke people? Because what I see on there is, yeah, there are some crazies, just like there are on Twitter, just like there are on YouTube, just like there are on Facebook. To write off an entire platform because of the stereotypical image of one user that, gets rushed into our feed all the time, I can't, subscribe to that. Again, the best criticism, guys, is criticism where you can actually explain what you don't like and what you would like to see done better. If you go up to a video game dev and you just go, oh, your game sucks, it's fucking woke, they're not going to listen to you because what does that mean? How can I make a change? What am I supposed to look at? You're just going, it's woke, it's woke, it's woke. You fucking suck. But if you go, hey, I thought the way that you guys, tried to go for gay representation here overrode the entire narrative of X character or Y character, or it didn't fit in here, didn't make sense, that's something to consider. And that's where, but if it's woke and your argument boils down to, I don't like it, you don't have an argument. If you don't like something, you have the freedom and willingness to not engage. And that's what we all have to remember, that, right? Like, we have agency. We have, again, it sucks when our favorite video games or shows or whatever, like, go bad, and we should critique them. But it's not, I don't know. I can't engage in culture war slop anymore. Oh no, it's absolutely not Tatsusunu, and that's because nobody cares, right? Like, people want to be angry. Right now we live in a very stupid time where I'll at least talk from an American perspective, but in America, most adults live on this mentality of, let me do what I want. Don't tell me that I'm wrong or you're wrong. Like, if you tell me I'm doing something wrong, I can't possibly be wrong. The rules have to be wrong, or there has to be a conspiracy. Literally yesterday, we had the fucking, the dying ass goblin who runs the fucking HHS, RFK Jr. He goes up there and he says, oh, you know what? We actually recommend everybody drink alcohol. Don't have it for breakfast, but it's really healthy to drink. What? No, it's not. They're like, it's factually, like, I like drinking. You can drink, you should drink, do what you want. But, like, to encourage it and say, like, it's healthy, no, it's not. You piss babies just got upset because somebody told you, drinking might not be that great for you. And you see it in every sector, right? And so, like, that's the big, that is the massive problem here, is that Nobody wants to be introspective. Nobody wants to admit they're wrong. Nobody wants to actually talk. They want to be mad. Like that is where we are right now. And it sucks. I mean, yeah, but I mean, parroting other people, that's not helpful. And then when you're parroting people who just go, that's woke, that's woke, that's woke, or, you know, counter it, that's racist, that's racist, that's racist. Well, what do you mean? What do you actually mean? Right? So it's always better to be, you know, pointed and direct and not get caught up in name calling or writing people off, right? Because then you go, oh yeah, they're all woke, why should I listen to them? Okay, well then you're all anti-woke, why should I listen to you? Right? Like, nonsensical. Futurama or Skynet, dude. This is more like what is it, like Battle for New York, Battle for LA? Like, it's pretty rough times, right? So in service of getting away from really rough times, let's see, why don't we talk about more topics, right? Let's get into our main topic at least. So this one, I kind of just wanted to, you know, credit where credit is due. Sometimes a comic book company or a studio or whatever, they perform and you really can't argue against it. And you know what? DC, for all the crap they've been doing, not you, Netflix, go away, Netflix. We're done talking about Netflix. Let's see. Not you guys. I had it up. First, let's see. I am setting this up so terribly. So let's just talk about the fact that DC had their really big best greatest year, right? Like, it is genuinely impressive and stunning and commendable at how much success DC has had this year, because not only have they, as you guys can see here, dominated the top like individual comics sold over 2025, right? So, oh, did I not pull it up? Let's go. Okay, shout out to Rich Johnson. I guess he's not like the best person ever, but he did assemble this chart. So these were the top 9 best-selling comic books of 2025. As you can see here, we've got Batman Deadpool Batman, Batman, Deadpool, Invincible Battle Beast, DCKO #1, the first issue of Batman Hush 2, Absolute Batman 15, Absolute Flash 1, and Absolute Batman #5. So obviously, big running trend here. We can all see right at the top, Batman. People love Batman. I saw a really, really stupid response to this, guys, where somebody was like, you know, it's so, I really hate how DC, like, oh, you have all these great characters and you've got to keep pushing Batman. Like, are you guys that unoriginal? Like, I hate this company. And I went, it's not the company's fault that Batman sells. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, fuck all McDonald's customers. I can't believe they still eat hamburgers. This could have been a Filet-O-Fish place. Okay. But then McDonald's would not exist because nobody would be frequenting the Filet-O-Fish place. You know what I mean? Like, you can't force taste onto people. And so I made the joke where oh, here, I can just pull it up because we're online. Hell yeah. I forget we can do that sometimes. Wait, where is it? I thought I had the joke at the ready. I guess I just have to pull up the full clip and go to the part. Boop, 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 boop. Man, to our point, Susanu. Now the search engine is screwing me here. God, come on, YouTube. Don't YouTube be a lady tonight. Luck be a lady tonight. Yeah, I this was my joke when that came to my head when it was like, why can't DC ever do anything not Batman? And let's see, are we on the right one? Oh, nope, I have to grab it. Obviously, we're still on it right now, but loading. There we go. Play. No, not that part. We got to go to, yeah, right here.
I predict our new alcohol-free Duff Zero will sell even better than our previous brand.
Oh, now it's not. That was weird. This is like a messed up clip. Do you guys hear that? It like isn't playing right.
Oh, yeah.
That's weird. Okay, but anyway, yeah, this is the joke I was getting at. Is like 30 minutes later, out of business.
Well, that's the end of me.
That is such a it's such a gross audio. Did anybody else hear that? Like, it's just like his smacking. Like, what the fuck did we just listen to? Ugh, weird. I don't know what any of that was. Blech. But anyway, yeah. So let's go back to what we were looking at a second ago at those charts. So obviously, a lot of Batman. The DCKO and the Battle Beast are on there because those are both blind bag issues, right? Which is a whole other sack of shit that I think is just insanely predatory, insanely bad for the industry. Like, get it out of here. Obviously, you know, you got a Batman 1, which is, you know, a relaunch. You've got Batman Hush 2, which is for speculation. You got Absolute Joker's debut, which is probably for speculation as well. But then, interestingly, you've got Absolute Flash, #1, which, yes, a #1. But I was talking to Andrew about this. I think, you know, you don't see Green Lantern here and you don't see Manhunter on here. And I think that's because Flash was the first of the non-Trinity Absolutes. And I genuinely think DC actually had like a lot of solid hype going into that. Like the Absolute Trinity is amazing. Everybody loves Wally West. That cover is really, really good. Everybody was jazzed, and so they bought it. Unfortunately, the series has turned out to be kind of a steaming pile of shit, but that's aside the point, right? It's a good Absolute Flash's one's like appearance here kind of proves that DC is at least capable of like getting hype going for their stuff, right? Obviously, we've seen that with Absolute, but even more proof. The more interesting one is Absolute Batman #5 right there, because there's no speculation behind this, right? There was no, here comes a new character, here comes a new artist, here comes a whatever. This is just the issue where he finishes his fight with the party animals and with Black Mask, right? Where he kicks the baby off the boat and, you know, drives his horns into Roman's helmet, which to me is like, wow, that means people heard about Absolute Batman, got on the train, read it however they could, whether digital or like third runs or whatever. And then everybody wanted to see the end of that fucking like storyline. That's super hype. Like that to me is insanely impressive because again, not a speculation buy, but an actual story narrative buy. Now, the other two laughs up here are obviously we have, you know, Batman Deadpool and Deadpool Batman, which were earlier this year. For the first time in about 20 years, DC and Marvel finally crossed over again. And that's what we have here. Both publishers put out their own entry into the crossover where their issues would have stories by their talent, right? So, for example, the Batman Deadpool that comes from DC, its main artist and writer, or its main writer and artist, Grant Morrison, Dan Mora. Right? Two big DC mainstays. You go over to Deadpool Batman, that came from Marvel. That right there came from Zeb Wells, who wrote the awful Spider-Man run, and then Greg Capullo, who has been Marvel exclusive for about 2 or 3 years now. So both, you know, it's easy to see why they sold. You've got your two biggest comic book characters out there. It's Batman, it's a Deadpool. You have 4 million and like 6 variant covers, which I can't even complain about because I bought a bunch of them. But so the Marvel entry, Deadpool Batman, is probably the better one of the two. But it's weird because the main story in Deadpool Batman, so how these books are laid out is we have one main story and then about 4 or 5 like anthology style stories that follow it up from like around DC, Marvel, various team ups and stuff. Deadpool Batman, Zeb Wells, but then you have like Al Ewing and Steve Orlando and like people who actually like the anthology stories in the Marvel issue are great. The main story sucks. You go over to the DC issue, the main story is fantastic. All of the backups suck. So it's like, okay, I'll give it to you guys, whatever, get your bag. But also, you could have cut this down into like one extra hyper solid, like this is the shit issue. But that's just me being a weird little fanboy. Now, I do see everybody asking. Let me go grab it real quick, just because I don't care what you think as long as it's... Where did I put it? I'm trying to bring up the issue so I can show you guys what you're asking. Ah, there we go. So, as I saw, I know Susanu asked, and Hibiki asked. Let me go back over to the comments and actually pull them up so we don't look insane. Boop, 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 boop. Is that Batpool? Wait, why is Deadpool with Batman? So, yeah, anyway, weird crossover, but I want it. So, where this all comes from is... No, boo! Boo, Wendy Testerberger, boo! So, Batman Deadpool, the issue written from DC by Grant Morrison and Dan Mora. So, I don't know if you guys remember, but back in the 90s, there used to be something called the Amalgam Universe. And what it was in like 96 or so, DC and Marvel did a series of crossovers where at first it was just like, oh, we're crossing over. But then the big twist halfway through the mini was that the powers that be mashed up the two universes. And so for a month, we had Amalgam Comics, which was a completely fused up imprint. And we got, characters like the Super Soldier, who's a combination of Superman and Captain America. Or you had Spider-Boy, who was Superboy and Ben Reilly. Or you had Iron Lantern, Kyle Rayner, and Iron Man. Or as you can see here, Dark Claw, which was Batman fused up with Wolverine. The entire premise was basically like the Amalgam Comics universe was its own real existing universe. So these are their own characters, just clearly mashups, right? So, yeah, as you can see here, Hibiki, in the actual issue itself, we got a really good, callback to the Amalgam universe by having Batman actually take on the Dark Claw form. Like, that was really out of nowhere. As the story progresses, we eventually get to Dead Bat, which is the universes essentially amalgamized one more time and produce a new Amalgam Comics character who's Deadpool Batman. And yeah, so you get the red, the maniacal laughing, the sword, but still the bat. Unfortunately, to Susanu, it is really cool. This is the only shot we get of him, which is probably for the better because otherwise they would run it into the ground. But yeah, that is where it comes from. A bit of fun, if you will, right? Like definitely very, very fun. If they make this a toy, this shit is gonna sell like gangbusters. Like I'm not even kidding. You airbrush this shit on like a shirt at a county fair or a state fair. Every single like fat Latino gangster is going to be like rocking this, and every fat wannabe white boy gangster, like we all know the kind of like aesthetic I'm talking about. It would look so awful and it would look so great at the same time. It'll be Dead Bat with like the stacks of money or whatever and all the rings on his fingers. Hell yeah. But that is where that comes from. So we can all kind of see why those issues all made that list, but it's really exceptionally funny that Marvel only has one entry here, and it's only the crossover. For reference, guys, like Marvel normally blows DC out of the water when it comes to sales. It's very rare for DC to so vehemently dominate like Marvel. Like it's just however the market plays out, that's just how it's always been. And now DC is like kicking their ass. Oh yeah, definitely looks like a Spawn Marine. Remember, we're talking the 90s, my friend. So that sort of design aesthetic with the super like fringed out, torn up cape and all like the rough edges, that as was the style of the time. Dude, a character named Joker Pool, would he be either like the most dangerous, or do you think his brain would just stop working because it would be too wacky? We could go either way with that, and I like that. Yeah, Marvel Unlimited, I believe it's already up there on Marvel Unlimited. Because what is it? It's like, I think you pointed it out here, right? Other physical. They should. Okay, so the physicals are out now for the Deadpool Batman crossovers. You can probably find them. They're really, really common. I see a bunch at my shop all the time. I know that they should be on Unlimited because Unlimited is what, like 3, right? Like 3 months from, or like 3 weeks from publication to putting it up there. I forget what it is, but sizably, like enough time has passed, unless it's like a month scale, right? Because yeah, this was like November or something. You'd rock a Dead Bat shirt or jacket. I would do a jacket, and depending on the shirt, I would do the shirt. I would say, bring back like the Fantagraphics ones that they used to make back in like the 2000s. Guess I have a comic hunt to go on later. Man, I'm like jealous hearing that. I'm like, man, Susanoo gets to go do like something fun. He gets to go have an adventure. Man. Oh, are you? You're gonna go watch Noble Reincarnation Born Blessed, so I'll obtain Ultimate Power 2026 anime. Is that the one that everybody's rushing to? I don't think I've heard of Noble Reincarnation Born Blessed. I think you've mentioned it to me. I don't. What is it? Like, let me know about that. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, not saying get the digitals, but like if you have Unlimited, it's up there to read. Faux show. We actually got a Lobo, not a Lobo pool, but a where is my button? Right there. We got a Lobo Vereen. What's his name? Logo. That's right. Yeah. At the end of the Marvel issue, they did another amalgam character, and it's Lobo mixed with Wolverine. So he's around. You kind of almost nailed on it there, Hibiki. You almost like got it right there. A Joker Ghost Rider, like, I think that would be, I'm like kind of like instantly obsessed with that idea, because you would have a Spirit of Vengeance going around trying to like make you feel bad about, like, repent, but then with the Joker's chaos like mentality and like way of thinking, I can see him just like going around being like a terror, like, remember this, and just like, you're not repenting, it just makes you feel, remember that time you asked out that girl and she like humiliated you, and it just like melts you to your core or whatever, like amplifies embarrassment, the spirit of embarrassment. I'm trying to remember who did they match the Joker up with back in the amalgam days. Oh yeah, that was a really weird one. Here, I'll show you guys as soon as I can get a good picture up. I think this is it. Yeah. This was a Joker's mashup back then. Hyena, Sabretooth, and Joker, which I guess makes sense because it's Wolverine and Batman, but also like a tad too ridiculous there, DC. A tad too ridiculous. I would love it. That sounds cool, especially because then the Ghost Rider could like actively possess other people, right? I imagine if the Ghost Rider could possess other people, and then when he possesses other people, they don't full transform, but like they get the Flame Skull, right? Like that would be cool. I'm kind of about that right now, guys. I think we're all onto something here. Let's see, Green Joker, Green Goblin. I see, that's kind of the matchup I would want. Like, just, although now that I think about it, he'd be like absolute Joker, like a cold, cunning, like businessman, but then also like the world's most insane, everything is evil, I'm gonna make everything evil. Let's see, Lady Death and more could be brought on it. I would like that, except here, how do I put this, like, Susanoo? I like that idea of like opening it up to other comic big shots, but then I fear that like once you open that door, that's when you're going to start getting like I don't even know what. Let me think for a second. Just like really dumb crossovers, right? That are just done for the sake of like, oh, we know this will sell or something. Like a like I don't like Archie comics, right? Like, do we want that? Oh, this is Archie Grayson. Like, okay, now we're going a little too whack and a little too out of left field. And I don't know what the guardrail would be for that, right? Like, because there's no achievement that a character can get that gets you like access to a club. So, like for a long time, I think you could pull it off on like what do you call it? Like the honor system among creators, and be like, if you're gonna do this, we all understand where we are. Don't do that. But then eventually the torches will pass, people will fade, and yeah. So like on one hand, I think like I want the amalgam universe to just be its thing, but I would be kind of really open to seeing sort of a mash up the big ones, right? Like get your Vampirellas, your Lady Death, your Red Sonja, your Gun Honey, get her, get what other characters are out there? Oh, like all the Geiger folks over at Ghost Machine and stuff. Like something cool could be done there, but then at the same time, you start running the risk of like, what? I don't know. There's balances to be had. You know what I mean? I'm about it, but I don't. We got to have those balances. Yeah. Lots of words were coming to mind there. Oh yeah, no. In the context of like this crossover we're talking about here, Susanu, or even so, like in terms of our specific one, I agree. This is not something that you make it an ongoing series, because then you oversaturate it. You make it like it just becomes dumb. If you make it like a good mini, I think you could do something there. And that's why I love the amalgam stuff so much, is because they kept it tight. And as much as all the time I'm like, I miss you. You mashed up Spider-Boy, or you mashed up Ben Reilly, my favorite Spider-Man, and then Connor Kent, like my second, maybe third favorite DC character. Like, come on, you're hitting me right in the heart here. Give it to me. But I know that I would just ruin it. I'd take it out of the package and I'd ruin it, right? But I'm with you. Anything on this sort of scale needs to be kept extra like tight. You don't do like a Age of Revelation thing and you make it a bunch of crossover like tie-in issues. Not at all. Yeah, like Timon said, Moon Lantern would be cool. Like you know what? Mash up the Lantern cores with like different deities. So like Khonshu, the Phoenix, things like that, right? And so that's how you get into like the different Lantern Corps. That could be pretty cool, which is like, yeah, like kind of like when Kyle was Ion and stuff. I can see that there. I think a Blue Beetle Iron Man, that one just is like right there, easy, right? Like if they mashed it up and they didn't do that, you're leaving money on the table, Marvel, DC. You're leaving money there. Let's see. Why I liked the SOF Deadpool. What's SOF? What am I blinking here? Sound of Fury? That can't be right. What? I'm sure Susano will get me too, but I just like I feel like that's so familiar, but I want to be like sure I'm talking about the right Deadpool and not like one other continuity that's like it's a neighbor or whatever. Oh, Special Forces Deadpool. Where was that one? I don't remember. I really like there is Gary Dugan's Deadpool run in the Marvel Now era, which again, real terrible era. Not a bad era for Deadpool, but there's a whole plot line where like Deadpool discovers he has a daughter, and at one point like learns she may have been abducted to be like experimented on by like, you know, Weapon X North Korea. It's it's like a very harrowing and dark and like, holy shit, Deadpool's a human and like a good thought, like he's underneath it all, he's got a heart of gold. So like I like those not twists per se, but those complications put in the character. I don't know what to say, but yeah, I think we all know what I'm talking about here. Well, I mean, yeah, just throw any of them into the Lantern Corps. That is why you see a lot. We get a lot of Green Lantern Corps crossover books, right? There was Star Trek Green Lantern. We got a Green Lantern Planet of the Apes. We've had other, like, here, let me let's see, third party Lantern Corps members. Yeah, nobody's gonna give it to me very, very easily. But yeah, right, like that would be pretty cool. Or that we do see that a lot because it is a very easy crossover thing. Like, give Captain Kirk the green ring. You don't need to give Hal, like, Hal doesn't need to learn how to fly the USS Enterprise or whatever, right? Like, very easy thing there. So I always love anytime the rings get used like that. I wouldn't mind a, like, kind of like what Susanu was talking about, do maybe either like a big 48 page, like one shot, like anniversary sized issue, or a mini graphic novel or something where, like let the rings out into Marvel, right? Or into Image, like that. There could be something very, very cool there. Whoa, where, oh, my window closed. Oh my god, it's all over the place. Yes, for those that don't know, Deadpool was new in the 90s, so around my peak childhood comic times, was a bit more into Spawn at the time. Yeah, for those who actually double don't know, I'm just going to jump off of that, Susanu, which is Deadpool was a very drastically different character before that 90s era of Deadpool, because he gets introduced and he is a fucking lunatic, like not just like crazy man, but like a lunatic. His first thing ever is that Wolverine is like, he's met some woman like in the neighborhood and he's helping her with something, and Deadpool just breaks in and starts like shooting at them and going like, oh, you're stealing my girlfriend from me, even though they've like been broken up for months and haven't talked or whatever, like, and Wolverine's not hitting on her or anything. Like, that's how much of a lunatic Deadpool used to be. It wasn't until that 90s series where, surprisingly, Joe Kelly, the current writer of Amazing Spider-Man, really gave us like the Deadpool we know now. And actually, let me put an asterisk to that, because he didn't give us how we know him now. Joe Kelly he took that lunacy and made it into like wacky, right? Like, here, one of my favorite pages of all time. I'm sure you guys will know why right as soon as I pull it up. But I always have it sitting here. I just got to find out. Will it open there? It'll open there. Yay! Yay! Yippee! Right there, right? Like, booyah! Yeah, Wilson's in the house. What's going on? Like, I dunked on you, and you got Blind Al in the back, and she's like, you feel good about like beating a 70-year-old like blind lady? So this is what Kelly did to Deadpool. He took that lunacy and he made it into the more like, you're a bit off, aren't you? Like you're a bit of a cuckoo. And for the longest time, that was a really good character for him, right? All the way up through, I'd say, until like the end of Cable and Deadpool, which is probably one of my favorite Marvel series of all time. Like, Cable and Deadpool is fucking great. Go read that. But after that, Cable and Deadpool was so good that it got Deadpool a pretty sizable following. After that, Deadpool was getting popular, especially like fans on like 4chan or the early like CBR days. Like, we're all getting, really jazzed about him. They go, oh, let's start using him. And that's when they turned him into like Le Wacky Meme Man. The one image of Deadpool from that era that always sticks out to me is this one. And I wish Andrew was here because he would go like, I'm going to stab you for reminding me that it existed. What are my dogs freaking out about? It is a Saturday. Enjoy yourselves. There we are. Go up here. This cover. I don't know if you guys remember this. Obviously, Jonathan Hickman's first issue of his like big Avengers thing. Obviously, the standard cover are all the Avengers like walking out of the sun. Right behind Deadpool there is Captain America. But you had Deadpool doing Gangnam Style on a cover. Like, what happened to you? What happened to you? Right? So we got stuck with that for a long time. I blame Daniel Way. Thankfully, with Dugan, like Gary Dugan, we've gotten out of it. And for the most part, most writers nowadays know how to write him as like he's broken and crazy and unhinged, but he's, you know, still got like a heart of gold somewhere in there. He's not just, LOL, skibbity riz, right? Like that's not what Deadpool ever should be. Ever should be. Let's see. Go back to you guys. Shinkai, what's going on, my friend? I missed you. I'm glad. Like I know it's my first show back, so I expect, you know, notifications are probably wacky on YouTube's end and everything. But I'm glad I'm starting to see, you know, all the regulars are showing up. Obviously, I see everybody who's watching, you know, without commenting, who's lurking. I'll see the VOD numbers later as they come in because we do get a sizable viewing after the show ends. So I love you guys. I missed all of you. I'm happy to see all of you. But yes, new Deadpool would shoot old Deadpool. I would actually kind of love to see that kind of a crossover, right? There's actually a really fun series that's running right now called Battle World, where Michael Korvac has taken a bunch of, you know, areas from time and like big events and mashed them into a battle world. But he's also taken like heroes from different periods. So one of my favorites is he took Bucky from World War II and Peter Parker about a month into being Spider-Man. So you've got Peter being like, I don't know what to do. Like, should I even be here? And then Bucky's like, listen, kids our age are killing people. You can either nut up or shut up, right? Like, I love those kind of interactions. Dang, look at this loser with his bot. Check that out. You can lick me for $1,000. That's my offer to you, Kickbot. If you would like to lick my downstairs, you can pay me $1,000. And you know what? I'll throw in 2 licks for you. You can lick it twice. I'm that generous this year. Yep. Yeah, I know. It's hard to explain that these aren't the same Deadpool. Like, it's bad. It's really rough. I'm with you though, Susanu. Like, I don't know about you, but I've been an open, I talk about comics all the time. I always have. So like back in college when Deadpool was getting all memey and everybody was like starting to get like the normies were getting on to him, I wanted to like blow my brains out. Cause I'm like, if you guys show me another like rage face Deadpool meme, I might like, I'll burn down campus. Like, I don't know what you want me to say anymore. Oh yeah, this artist, man, not that artist. Good God, what is that? Good Lord, what is going on in there? Here. This is Ed McGuinness, who is one of my favorite artists. You guys might recognize him from having done the Superman Batman Public Enemies arc. He's done he did the Red Hulk arc back for Marvel in like 2009. Did a lot of the early Deadpool here. He does this really good sort of like round but dynamic style. He's currently also doing art for like right now he's doing art for Amazing Spider-Man, which it's not bad. It was still, check out Foil Variant for our very complicated thoughts on that. But more to the point, yeah, I love Ed McGuinness's art, and I wonder if he's done a Turtles thing. But either way, yeah, this would be an awesome crossover. Just bring back we need more pickup basketball games. All right, the X-Men '97 brought it back in true fashion, but we need more pickup basketball games. Let's see. Spawn Joker or Joker Hellspawn. I'd actually rather see Joker mashed up with freaking Violator, right? Like, I think that would be crazy. Like, see, here's where I get. Hear me out here, guys. And this is not a pushback against Hibiki. Like, I want to make that clear to everybody. This is not. I actually like. I'm going off of his idea, but I need your guys' help here, because when I think of characters like a Joker Violator, right? Or who did we say earlier? Like a Joker Green Goblin. And I start thinking, like, when you mash those two up, what are you getting? Like, you're getting the most senseless, disconnected, self-rationalizing evil of all time, right? Right? Like, okay. What do we do with that as a character? Like, what would that express itself as a character? And follow me here, because like if I think of Joker and Violator, they're both depraved killers, but they have their weird codes, right? Like Joker only does things if it's funny, and then Violator is very strictly, he has to follow all the laws of like hell and heaven and all of that. If you were to match those two together, in my brain, my default thing is like, so wouldn't they just not care anymore about rules and just like become like an instant violent whirlwind of like knife slashing and gunshots? And I don't want, like, I feel like more can be done. That's why I'm gonna farm it out to you guys. I'm gonna see like what do you guys think can be done there? Todd does. I know he's really Todd's really focused right now on like the toy end of McFarlane. I don't think he's actively. Let me check one thing. Because I don't believe he's writing Spawn, right? I don't believe that's what's happening. Oh no, okay. He is writing Spawn right now. That's what I thought. He's writing Spawn with art by Brett Booth. He isn't drawing too much lately because, again, lots of things to do. He has been providing some art here and there lately for like variant covers. So he's around. He's definitely still around. He's still doing stuff. All that like Spawn revamp from about 5 years ago or whatever, that was all him. So look at that. Thanks, Susanu, for making me like confront whether like where in the world is Todd McFarlane? Where is my StreamYard window? There we go. Venom Bane would be cool, especially like what if you make it like he's Eddie Brock, but then the Venom is like, or like, yeah, like the Bane Venom is Venom, so like he injects it and then it like goes in the tubes and then that transforms him or whatever, right? Like that would be really cool. No, man, I'm loving that you're nerding out on this. I'm glad you can. I invite all of you guys out there to nerd out with me, even if I don't know it, right? Like Hibiki, for example, he hits me with anime I've never heard of, but I love it because then I go check it out and I find new things. Timon tells me about like Toku things I may have missed. Shinkai always reminds me like about things like I forgot about or I didn't even think about, or like old anime, and it's great. I love you guys nerding out. I want you guys to nerd out because that's one of those, part of the mission here is like you are cool for liking what you like. And if somebody thinks you're lame or goes, "Oh, you're weird for that," fuck them. They're the insecure ones, right? Like I want to encourage you all in that because I know how, again, life sucks right now. The world's getting really difficult. I want to do what I can to help remind all of us that, like, as guys, as gals, especially as guys who don't get more support, like there are good things. Community still exists. It's not all what you see on the media and on social media. And I want to help remind you that there's at least one spot for that. So if you guys want to nerd out, like, let's fucking go. Yeah, you are when you're around, even though I've been like calling out to you for like 4 years and you're not even around anymore. You've abandoned me. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I absolutely need Andrew around to like here. I have it ready, Andrew. This is I have this clip ready for foil variant. You'll see it being played a lot soon. But this is my like. Oh, here, let me make sure I have the thing ready to go. I got to set it up real quick. Boo 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 doo 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 boo doo 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 doo. Ah. Oh, you're actually in Clip Studio, right? Oh, that's the drawing, right? Like look at you still going at it. Are you going to be nice to Kanan after what we talked about last night? All right. You need to look out for your artists. Everybody leave a nice set of Copic pens and a like a bump of cocaine for your artists under your Christmas trees this January, I guess. Bow, 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 bow. War goggling. Okay, I think yeah. So this is the clip. This is my Andrew clip for that sums up how we work.
You have a very
my. Never mind. All the audio was being so gross, right? Did you guys hear that again? I don't know. I got to fix something on whatever's going on the the bounding StreamYard because it is. Oh, and look it. What the hell? It's like blowing up everything. Oh my god. Oh my god. Can we stop? Okay, I got it. I fucking got it. All right. We'll fix that. But don't worry. Wait. Susan, was the clip okay or did it sound muddy? That's my question. Let me know. And then whatever that was. Okay. It is my headset. All right, Simone. You know what? I believe that because that actually lines up with what you guys remember earlier in the show, like at the very beginning, where I was like, "What the hell is that weird noise?" I'm on to you guys. All right, cool. Then I will play that clip proper. Then we can just go over and do that because then everything works.
You have a very way of like taking all this like blathering that I say and succinctly bringing it down to like 4 words. I very much appreciate that. You have a very way of like taking all this like
that's very much how Andrews and my dynamic go. And so yes, but I need you. Either way, okay, let's get back to what we're talking about. I'll stop trying to be tricky. Let's see. What about Carnage Joker or Carnage? Okay, this is what I'm talking about though. Like, I think it'd be cool, but this is why I'm farming out to you guys. Like, what do we do with the character? Because to me, I just go, okay, so you the minute those two mash up and their brain becomes like one, when do they not just start taking out knives and like, woohoo! And hey, I see you son of a bitch. All right, like you're wrong, but you're also right. All right. Yeah, Punk, it looks like I'm probably going to have to try and switch back to the earbuds, at least for a little bit, which it makes me sad because these have been 7 years strong probably, and they are like really nice. They're for my audio production, like my music mixing, and so it'll be sad to see this. Yeah, see, like one pushes too much out, one takes too much out. Ideally, that's what I mean. Like, how do we balance it here? We need to brainstorm, right? That's our homework for the week. Is everybody brainstorm how you can take like the ultimate evils and mash them up there? Because I genuinely want to know. Let's see. Octolex, yeah, Doc Ock and Lex. Except you would probably do Lex and Norman, right? Or no? Because you would probably do something like a Lex and a Zemo, because Super Soldier is Superman and Captain America, right? So you would probably want to do a Cap villain and a Superman, Lex and him. You could go Red Skull, but I feel like that's too far for a Luthor, right? Like you do Red Skull and Doomsday, and you make it like the ultimate Nazi, like final solution weapon. Like, yes, we could never perfectly clone the Superman, but we made it better, right? And then it's like, I am the Ubermensch, yada 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 yada. Let's see. when I want to hear my audio really well while gaming or listening to music, I use my Astros. When I stream, I use my earbuds. Here was the problem that I was running into, and you can all check it because there's a distinct, like, this episode was earbuds, this episode was headphones, and then it was headphones on out. And my headphones, for some reason, my earbuds were starting to randomly disconnect when I was streaming with all of you. So like, it wouldn't really matter here on GMU because I'm just talking to myself most of the time, right? But when I was streaming with you over on Foil Variant, it would get weird because I'd be like, yeah. Oh shit, he's gone. And then since Windows resets everything, now that source is gone, now I have to reconnect, make sure everything goes. I'm pretty sure it was an issue with the earbuds, and I've fixed a couple things like with them and with my Bluetooth connection. I can go back to it, and I probably should. So yeah, let's put that down on the docket, guys. Right? Boom, 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 boom. We're gonna try our earpods next week again. Yeah, exactly. Hey, no, I'm learning all the time. I'm learning all the time. I know. Isn't that the hard part, Susanu? Is like when you're, especially with audio issues, and you're trying to help other people, is like there are so many different and like gates where the sound quality can change. I cannot just do a one-to-one with you, right? Like, adios, punk. Adios. Take it easy, my friend. Have a wonderful Saturday. I'm glad you spent a little bit of it with us. Let's see. All right. My stupid headphone issues aside, let's close out with a little bit of more DC, gotta hand it to them, right? So we saw that the top 9 books were mainly DC, 1 Image appearance, 1 a half of a Marvel appearance, right? It's a 0.5 because it's the crossover. Unfortunately for Marvel, that didn't really improve when it came to holiday sales this year, right? So yes, we've got to wait a little bit for like all the info to come in and do like a full, run of like what sold the most during the year. But the reason I bring this up today, and I wrote this article, Absolute Batman leads DC holiday sales sweep, Marvel makes a lone appearance with Ultimate Spider-Man. The reason I wanted to highlight these numbers in particular is because these are the we have the sales data from December 2025, and as you guys know, that's the holiday season. So this is a season where people are buying gifts that are on like people's lists, or they're buying it for themselves, right? Like, come on, how many of us out there go like, okay, I'm gonna grab that, and then I'm gonna grab I might as well grab that for myself. I can't shop. I have to limit myself to like, I need to get what Andrew, like my presents for Andrew, and be done with my presents for Andrew. Like, and I have to get them like there. Like, I can't browse, because if I go anywhere to browse for Andrew, I'm going to be browsing for like myself, right? Like, that's what's going to be really hard. So all of that aside, I don't even know why I went down that little ramble right there. But as you guys can see here, this data is assembled from Comics Hub, which is a point of sale tracking system here in the United States that tracks American comic sales. So just to explain it to everybody, because I saw a bunch of people commenting on this and not exactly understanding what it was. Holy shit, it is Sammy, except we do not say hello to Sammy yet until the motherfucker answers what he just spent $800 on omnibuses worth, or like, wow, what a sentence. You know what? You're off the hook, Sammy. I couldn't even accuse you, right? You're good. You're a free man. No double jeopardy. But yeah, so what a point of sale system is, because I saw a lot of people a little confused about this in our comments on other sites that it was being shared on, is, let's see. Okay, well, do I not have anything near me for like a visual aid? Wow. This is why you don't clean your room. Okay. So, for example, right? This is physical sales only, Susanu, the what we're looking at right here, right? So A point of sale system, just I know it sounds simple, but just to lay it all out, is when the gun at the store blinks that, right? It goes beep and it registers it on the register. As soon as the shop owner approves it all, like you pay and it all goes through and you get your receipt, at that moment, Comic Hub will get an update and say, like, you just sold like one copy of Ultimate X-Men 23 and like whatever else is in the stack just got sold. And so that's how they're tracking this data. Now, the data that we are looking at comes from about what was it? I think it's like 250 comic book stores that report. Let me get those exact numbers because it's important. I had it in here somewhere. Yeah, over 125 stores that report this information, right? Which is a random sampling size, not a wide sample size, but that is a pretty significant sample size. And given that comic book hobby stores are very, very, very specialized, that it's going to be pretty accurate to what the general, sales market is out there right now. Now, as you guys can see, we're looking at the chart for December, Christmas season, top 20 graphic novels by number sold, right? Just by units moved. DC obliterated everybody. Like, not only do you see so how did they obliterate? Every single absolute trade. So all 6 series right now have their first out from Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Manhunter, Green Lantern. All of their first volume trades top the charts. At number 5, you had one little disruption, but it makes sense. The trade collection of Woman of Tomorrow, the Supergirl story. Obviously, movie's coming out. That thing is going to move. Expect to see that on sales charts probably through the end of the year. Again, it's not to say anything of its quality, but people are going to go, oh, that's the movie. Let me read the movie, yada, 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 yada. The other thing you guys can notice there is that the DC compact editions, they won. And I'm so happy they won because Andrew and I have been like, ever since they announced these things, which are, for those who don't remember, I'm going to go grab one right now. I grabbed one and I knocked over all of my toys. Whatever. I can pick them up later. But these bad boys, right? So compact editions are complete storylines in manga size format on, similar paper. This entire thing is $10. This particular one, for example, contains, it only skips one issue, right? It's like the first, where does it list it? I thought it lists what issues it contains. Oh yeah, 1 through 13, and then the Secret Files and Origins issue, right? So 14 comics, $10, complete, ready to go. So I am so, like, when we saw this, we went, this is how you do it. Because one of the bigger problems right now in comic like sales and stuff is distribution, is how do you get it out there? No longer do we have, comics at, the checkout counter or at the drugstore or a spinner rack or anything. I will say I have seen, and I think it's more of an independent thing, but I do see a lot lately at like gas stations. There are little like 6 window book displays with like various comics in them, right? And it's like Flashpoint. I can't, like, they're big issues, so I can't tell if they're like re-releases or they're like the person's private collection, because then like the sticker on it is just like a $3.99. It doesn't have a DC logo, whatever. The main point of that is they are showing up, they're appearing, they're getting around there, right? So, oh yeah, let me go back to the charts. So the fact that like every, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different compacts made this list is it's so good for like DC. Give people, like, it's portable, it's cheap, you can pass these on, right? Like, it's $10 fucking. If you want to, like, if I've actually had friends come over and these have been sitting around and they flip through them and I'm like, oh, you like it? And they go, yeah, it's actually pretty. And I go, have it. And most of the time they've followed up and they've been like, oh, that was really cool. Got anything else? I think only like one friend hasn't followed up, but I also didn't give him, what was it that I'm like looking over there? What was sitting out? I don't remember, but it was something that like, oh, Wonder Woman Earth 1. And that doesn't really go anywhere. So like it's like a one and done story. So I was like, I understand why you're not going there. We get one appearance here by Image off of their Transformers series, which, as we all know, is just in a gangbusters world of its own. I don't know anything about what's going over there with like Void Rivals. I didn't know Void Rivals was a Transformers thing until like 2 months ago, to be completely honest with you guys. So I'm happy that Transformers is rocking over there. I hope you Transformers fans are enjoying it. And then you guys can see at 17, we have our only Marvel entry with the first volume of Ultimate Spider-Man. Now, here's where, how do I put this? Here's something to note, right? Here's something to, like, here's an observation. I pointed out before, and Andrew's pointed out before, and we've pointed out together before, that in like, when it was starting, like when those first 2 volumes of Ultimate Spider-Man were coming out, so let's say like the first 12 issues, those trades were selling like wheat cakes, right? Like they were at the top of the charts every single month in some capacity. The second volume was available for only about 4 days in the month it released on, and it's still placed like 4th on that month's sales charts. That's how insanely popular and good like this series was, or the hype and the momentum around it. Right now, I still really love that series. I still think it is fantastic. I every issue with bated breath, right? However, I think what we're seeing here is Marvel has lost, like, okay, how do I put this? Marvel decided out of nowhere to end the Ultimate Universe early. I'm sure we all know that by now, right? They're going to end after Ultimate Endgame. That's it, no more. That was never the original plan. The original plan was for the current creative teams, except for Dennis Camp over on Ultimates, to cycle out, right? So Brian Hill, Jonathan Hickman, Marco Cicchetto, oh my God, who is Alessandro Capuccio, the Black Panther artist, and then Peach Momoko. They were all supposed to, like, we're done. We're going to go move on to other things. You guys can play with it now. But Marvel, for some reason we don't know yet, went, we're done. We're ending it. Now, on one hand, I supported this with, like, how do I put it? So I do support this to an extent in theory, right? Where you're like, and I support it in the art sense, where it's like, this universe is so good. I can understand like closing it out and being like, let's leave it pristine. We don't need to keep adding a bunch of shit to it until it looks ridiculous. I could understand that, but that's me being my art snob, pretentious Mav self, right? That's not smart for a business that wants to, bring customers in and keep them going. So I think what we're seeing here is news of the Ultimate Universe not continuing, putting the brakes on a lot of that hype, because a lot of people are going to go, oh, I can't wait to see them. Yeah, but they're going to be gone in like a month. Oh, well, it'll be nice to see that, story at some point, but it's no longer urging or pressing because it's ending. You sort of know what I mean? Think of it almost in the same way as, don't think of it that way. That analogy I was going to make was just going to make everything way more complicated. So don't listen to that. But it is stunning how DC swept here. And it's pretty much the same when we look at like dollar amount, right? The only big changes here in the dollar amounts are that no compact comics are on the dollar amount, but they're $10. Of course, they're not going to get there. And then we do see the appearance of some bigger Image and Dark Horse stuff, but that's because they're the more pristine deluxe editions. Like Dark Horse has their deluxe edition of Lone Wolf and Cub and Berserk, and then Image has their their Invincible compendiums, and then IDW's got Last Ronin's hardcover. So those, like, makes sense. They're kind of like the bigger overall stories. I mean, Marvel appears on here with the first omnibus for Gary Dugan's Krakoa era X-Men run. So, hey, look at we got like a bunch of fucking kick losers in here. What the hell just happened right there? That was weird. But yeah, all in all, I think this speaks volumes to how well DC is pulling off their Absolute universe, which again, personally, the Trinity is amazing. I really, really love Martian Manhunter. Green Lantern has very interesting ideas. I am a little afraid that Al Ewing is going a full Al Ewing, and it's kind of like losing the plot there, but it's not bad per se. It's just sort of like be prepared. And then Absolute Flash, you know, the less said of Absolute Flash, the better. But clearly, DC, like, they're doing good. Even if you hate everything about their direction, even if you hate all of their creators, even if you hate Batman, we can't look. You have to look at these numbers and go, you guys are onto something. And, you know, kudos to that, because I think these compact editions are amazing. Everybody should do this. This is how you get people to read it. By the way, you want to know how stupid Marvel is? Marvel has their own version of this. It's called the Premier Collections. They are about like an inch taller and an inch wider, and then like $5 more. Which is like, what the, like, it's not a format. It's not a common display format. It's not a common shelf format. Like, what the hell did you guys do? And then, just to let me go off for a minute, they did Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four run, right? The one where Johnny dies in the negative zone, where they start the Future Foundation, where Spidey comes to hang out. Absolutely fantastic run. They released a premiere version of it for the movie, for First Steps, and to keep it in their sizing and in their price range or whatever, they actively cut pages from the story. So like, if you open that up and you go read, there's going to be like one issue that only has, instead of 21 pages, it has like 18, because they're like, oh, we can snip that out. And it's like, do you not understand why people read comic books or how comic books are supposed to be read? Like, get the hell out of here. It's infuriating. It's just infuriating. But yeah, at the end of the day, DC is doing something right. And I wouldn't say necessarily everybody needs to run out and copy them, except in the compact edition, like, arena. But, you know, take note. Don't bury your heads, Marvel. Don't bury your heads, Image. Don't say, you know, don't do the Western thing that the West did for so long when anime was getting popular in the early like 2020s, or not early 2020s, the like mid 2010s, where they would go, oh, anime is getting popular. We don't need to look at them. We're better. Like, we're American. We can't learn anything from them. And if we learn anything from them, that's admitting defeat. Like, don't let your egos away, guys. Just like let them away, and we can all succeed. We can all win here. Let's see. Okay, that's the end of my ranting on that. But yeah, gotta hand it to DC. You guys did it. Absolute Batman rules, and you know, you killed it at the box office. Or like, yes, it didn't do all the money for Superman, but Superman did the bigger cultural win of revitalizing the Man of Steel in the pop culture consciousness, and that's going to be gangbusters dividends for them for a long time, right? So, let's see. Let's get back to here, because I know I went for a little while on that. I think I treat this like boxing. You quit it at the peak. Are you talking about the Ultimate Universe? Yeah, like that's what I support as well. Like, as the artist, the pretentiousness of me, like the beauty enjoyer in me, I'm right there with you, Susanu. But then I also, unfortunately, we have to admit that they are a comic company that want to keep selling comics. So like, what would be the smart thing to do? Is it to close out completely at the top, or keep letting it go until it goes into mush? I think we could probably find a middle ground where you let it keep going, but you are smart about curating who you're putting on this. Kind of a really good example is look at the Ultimate Universe, right? The original Earth 1610. When it first came out, it was very locked in and it was very solid because those creative teams were all like, okay, here's the mission. We're taking all these characters and we're not reimagining them per se, but we're updating them. We're bringing them into the 2000s, right? Peter Parker will no longer, as a teenager, have a bow tie and a sweater vest because what nerd does, he's going to wear, you know, a hoodie and t-shirt and jeans or whatever. And he's going to have the like longer Leonardo DiCaprio hair. And it was, you know, for the most part, early Ultimate Universe worked. Looking back in retrospect, a lot of it was bad, but at least at the time, things were the machine was working, even if we didn't know how badly it was doing it. Once you got to Ultimatum, right? And all of a sudden, all the big, like, you were breaking people off of their books, you were swapping out creators, you were changing, you know, what books are running. That's when we started going off to the races. And that's where, you know, they just started hiring people as if it was another line, which, okay, fair. But now things are getting weird. They're going out in all these weird directions because you're just letting the author play. And it just feels, at that point, it starts feeling like you don't really care about this. Why do I care about this? Right? I remember one of the final arcs in the final, like, Ultimate Comics, Ultimate Spider-Man based on Miles was like the Miles Morales from the Spider-Ham universe ends up in 1610. And that was after the movie, like the first movie had come out. And I just went like, no. So I think, like, yeah, you bring in people, but you go like, here's the mission we have. Instead of bringing in, you know, Eve Ewing or something, you go, okay, bring in Jeff Johns, Mark Waid. I know these are all DC guys, because all the Marvel writers I would have recommended were already working on the Ultimate Universe. So yeah, that's where I would go with that. Oh no. I did not think you were disagreeing, and I was just more, I was talking. It was not pointed at you. That was more just like a, yeah, no, dude, like, I'm right there with you, like, for sure. I hate it. Like, if I were you, I would do it. I would 1000% do it. Don't get me wrong. But then, yeah, I was just looking at how, like, the cards are dealt. Yeah, exactly. I love, like, that's a really good way to put it, right? More means stop until something fresh comes to mind. Andrew has recently been floating this concept, and I really like it. And we actually talked to Chuck Dixon about it right before the holiday break when we interviewed him over on Bounding, which is the Justice League, the Avengers. Those guys should only come together in events, right? If the Justice League is having a story, that's an event story because you're bringing the titans of your world together. If you leave them out and they're always around and you have to constantly keep going, oh, we got to check in on them every month, that's where you start going, right, Susanoo, where it's like, this is boring. There's nothing fresh here. There's nothing cool. We've done Avengers versus X-Men 900 times. We've done Avengers get betrayed 1,000 times. Right? Like, so yeah, I'm right there with you. Absolutely, Chuck Dixon mentioned. I love that talk we had with him. Let's see. A Spider Flash would be cool. I've actually, like, tried to think about how that would play out because those are my two favorite superheroes, and, like, I don't know how, like, super speed webbing would work, like web swinging. It can work. It is a good idea. I personally, like, in my brain, I can't think of a cool way to come up with it that isn't just like you sped up a YouTube clip of, like, swinging it in, like, regular time. You know what I mean? So a lot of web zips, I could see that, right? Like, oh gosh, isn't there? Oh, I feel like this is a character somewhere recently too, but where, like, have, you know, Spider Flash would shoot a web, and wherever it lands, he could use it as, like, a tag. Like, I'm thinking of Sombra from Overwatch, which is completely out of left field. I don't know where that came from, but that's what I'm thinking of, where it's like you set down the beacon, and then no matter where you are, you can zip to it. That would work with like the webbing and stuff, right? Like web up there, the web hits, and then it's sort of like blink, and then it's like frame where like the web hits, blink of like lightning, and then blink, I'm over there, right? Like that might be cool. I actually kind of like that. I'm gonna steal that idea now. Yeah. Oh man, I could talk for years on like mash up all these characters together, how to use these characters better, put them over here. It's a time honored nerd tradition, right? 333 from Susanu sitting here. My man, you did not have to. You're too nice to us. What comic stood out the most in 2025 for you? That's a good question. I'd probably have to say, all right, in terms of like genuine, like I would recommend these, like everybody, this is a general, like, you know, stood out to me. Absolute Batman was like actually I would say the absolute trinity: Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, for different reasons, with Batman being sort of, you know, Scott Snyder saying, okay, you guys want like the edgy, you know, Dark Knight Batman, cool, but what if he was still Batman at his core, right? And he actually pulls it off. Absolute Superman really stood out to me because it is Jason Aaron, and yet whether through editorial or just some miracle of God, he's actually proven himself able to tell a very coherent, consistent narrative that like makes sense and hits like the right beats without getting full Jason. So that's been really cool. I'd say probably Absolute Wonder Woman stood out to me the most because the artwork, the paneling, like it is gorgeous. Diana getting like her right treatment, aside, like not like the murderer we just saw, but like an actual I'm here for peace. I'm like an otherworldly being type thing, right? Like it's really, really I would say Absolute Wonder Woman was probably my standout book of the year. Ultimate X-Men and Ultimate Spider-Man, of course. Ultimate X-Men, I know, is very, you know, that's a Peach Momoko thing. She's my favorite. To be able to have her do like a monthly book is like a big joy to me. Let me think, what else stood out? There are moments, definitely, like I have highlights, but they're not necessarily like issues or like comics. You know what? Okay, I will put everything I said, the Absolute books, Ultimate Spider-Man, X-Men, and then Uncanny X-Men, right? Gail Simone, throughout this year and the past year, has been writing the best X Squad we have gotten in years. Again, I know all the criticisms against Gail, but she is like, either she kind of like got over the big social media rush of being like a super, you know, like woke, I guess is probably the best way to put it. Like she's over that, and like she's really locked back into like telling a character story, and everything she's done with Logan, Rogue, Gambit, Jubilee, and Nightcrawler, who are like, all of those are my favorite, except I would swap Wolverine for Cyclops. So she's got all of that, and she's been telling a perfect story of like humanity, of emotion, of action, of intrigue, of character. Of all of the X books, she's the only one that pulled off like, we're going to have new mutants introduced, and it worked, and it was good. So those are probably my standout books. Obviously Ripazine #5, but that's a magazine, that's not a comic, because that's where we get our debut of Blue Shift. And then yeah, I think, yeah, like Power Rangers Prime wasn't that great. I still have to get deeper into the Ghost Machine stuff. That's kind of like my goal for this year, is I really want to be more aware of like Image and all the other stuff that's out there. I would say Witchblade. I would say the Witchblade series and everything they're doing with that line. So Witchblade and The Darkness also stood out to me, because it's another one of those Ultimate Marvel like 1610 version like situations where they take these characters and they're updating them, but they're not like changing them or reimagining them, and they are still the same characters. The way Andrew likes to put it is that it's the same characters, but with like added layers, not different like changes, but like layers to them. Yeah, so I would definitely definitely check out Absolute Wonder Woman. That would be my number one recommendation for every single one of you out there. Oh yeah. I did not think anybody was talking. I was not applying that to you. That was just a general. None of those people that read comics as though I'm in the comic. Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of people like with everything, right? They go, "Oh, I'm going to read this," and my main mindset is, "How can I make this about me and make it? How can I get outraged about this?" And it's like, come on, is that fun? Is that fulfilling for you? But yeah, Absolute Wonder Woman. Just that's how you do comic books. That so Absolute Wonder Woman, like Absolute Wonder Woman is how you do like you do paneling and story and pacing and all of that. Absolute Batman, after you're done with Wonder Woman, I would say if you are a big fan of like old school like that feeling when you would read a comic and you're like, oh wow, and then you turn the page and you're like, oh, and then you get to the end of an issue and you're like, shit, I want the next one, right? Like that is definitely what Absolute Batman can do. Right? It'd be hella weird if I read Roman or Greek myths like it applied to me, just saying that stuff is way out there. No. Don't you know, Susanoo? If it's written in a comic book, they're talking specifically about you, okay? Anything they say, if they say Lex Luthor is a bad person, if they say Cheetah is a bad person, they're actually talking about you, okay? There's no other way. Oh man, let's see. All right. Well, I think that's actually a really awesome, like happy laughter filled place to end it. We're at 2.5 hours. We hit our time, guys. Like Susanoo and I wrapped up here. Check out Absolute Wonder Woman. Check out any of the Absolute Trinity. Check out Absolute Manhunter for sure. Pass on Flash. Look over Green Lantern. It might be for you. It might not. Aside from that, Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate X-Men, of course, they're fantastic. And yes. Oh, if we're combining DC and Marvel, why not call them the Justice Avengers? I mean, Justice League just does sound like a better name. I'm okay with it being like the Justice League, and then you can do like the Teen Avengers or something like that, right? Like I can see it, but I think they didn't they mash up the team in Amalgam? Hold on. Oh, right. It was Justice League X-Men in the 90s. That's right. Because, remember, the Avengers, as I'm sure like lots of you can tag, as especially Susanoo, right? Like, Avengers were not super popular pretty much until the movies happened, right? So, like, the 90s were the domain of the X people. So, guys, with all that, kudos to DC. Keep on keeping on. You guys are clearly, you're locked into something here, and I hope you guys can keep delivering. As for all of us, I'm just happy, guys. I'm stoked to be back here to talk to you, to hear from you guys. It's been too long. I'm glad to hear that everybody's holidays seem to have gone over at least not disastrously, right? Like I'm sure I haven't heard any bad reports. Nobody got kicked out. Nobody had to sleep on the couch. Nobody burned down the kitchen with the turkey or anything. So that's good. I'm just, really happy to see all you guys. Even you, stupid Kickbot, closing us out here. You loser. Hell yeah, free of $100. Let's go. Sports gambling is the worst. You're killing all the youth. But, okay, now I'm just rambling like a boomer. So, guys, Susanoo, to Hibiki, to Andrew, to Shinkai, to, man, who else has been around today? I know more people have been around today. I feel stupid. Susanoo, Hibiki, of course, Timon, Shinkai, Sammy, Andrew. I feel like there's a name I'm missing out here, but I'm going to keep scrolling until I find it, because otherwise I'm going to feel really bad. That's who I was thinking of. That's right. Dante joined us for a little bit. And of course, hey, it's me in HD. So guys, whether you are, actively chatting with me, you were lurking, you're watching in the VOD, I see you. I love you. I appreciate every single one of you. And you know what? It's you guys who allow me to do this show. And I'm glad that I can provide a space for us all to hang out, close the doors a little bit to the outside world and all of its stupidity for a little bit. And remember that there's still reasons to laugh. There's still reasons to smile about, and that we're all here and we're all in it together. So be good, like, take care of each other, do the right thing. As always, I will be back. So Monday nights over on Bounding, we'll have weekly Weeb News with Nerdigans Insider. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'll be back with video games. Not sure what we'll be streaming yet. Still kind of looking for something, but I will let you guys know. And then, of course, next Saturday, right back here for another Good Mab Ugly. Oh, and of course, I can't believe I skipped it over. See, you take a break and you forget how to do your sign-offs, because there's also Foil Variant Thursday nights over on the Foil Variant channel. Me and Andrew providing you with intellectually honest comic book talk about all the week's new releases. So if that's up your alley, come hang out with us. If not, check out one of our other shows. Come hang out with me another time. And until then, everybody, stay gorgeous, stay beautiful, and go play something fun today. Go read Absolute Wonder Woman. How about that? All right? Take it easy, everybody.
As the creator of Mara Jade,
Wait! I am not the creator of Mara Jade, and I want you to get out of this office right now.
I'm sorry, Zeb.
No way.
You brought
No
it on
way.
You brought it on yourself.
I don't want you here.
I'm so
Out.
sorry, George. I didn't think it would go like this.
Out.
Jen, I got your voucher.
Out! There.
I'm sorry about that. I'm so sorry. We'll have him like burned and well,
I don't even
executed
know
and
who
burned.
that guy